without going into Rafah. And that's despite the Biden administration warning that it would lead to mass civilian casualties, though Biden also reportedly signing off on another round of weapons for Israel in a long-standing deal worth billions of dollars.
The U.S. and Israel will hold a virtual meeting today to discuss further plans on Rafah. More help on the way for Baltimore, a fourth giant crane arriving today to help remove pieces of the debris. This is ABC News. A top congressional Republican is signaling he's ready to fund Ukraine's fight against Russia.
The House Speaker tells Fox News he's open to offering Ukraine a loan to be repaid, he says, when the time is right. Mike Johnson also says he's interested in repurposing seized Russian assets to fund Ukraine's fight, calling that pure poetry.
It's ABC Stephen Portnoy in Washington. New federal rules out today targeting a certain type of swindle fraudsters pretending to be government agencies and businesses bilking customers out of billions.
The most common types of imposter scams are copycat account security alerts, fake giveaways or discounts, bogus problems with the law, and made-up package delivery issues. You get a text or an email about this. Don't click on anything. Check the back of your credit card, flip it over, call the number, and then if you are the unfortunate victim of one of these scams, you can also report it directly to reportfraud.ftc.gov.
ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end. The good in you can live on. In fact, you could save up to 8 lives with your gifts. Your heart could keep beating. Your kidneys could keep filtering. And your intestines could keep on digesting for others. And that's not all. You can improve the lives of 50 more people as an eye and tissue donor, restoring sight and health. And you're not just helping out the person receiving the transplant.
Hey, Tom, Mark is unable to connect, so he's coming over to your house.
Gift. Register in minutes. Just go to organdonor.gov. You'll be happy you did. And just maybe, someone else will be happy.
Nope, no Mark.
Sign up today. Go to organdonor.gov.
We got a Doc and a Kelly.
U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The ballot is about to be set for Colorado's special election. The state's Democratic Party will nominate a candidate today to replace former Congressman Ken Buck. An online convention is scheduled after a Republican committee chose Greg Lopez last week to run for the 4th Congressional District seat. The special election is June 25th, the same day as the primary. After a kayaker died in Chatfield Reservoir over the weekend, first responders are reminding people what to do to stay safe. A man in his 30s fell into the water while kayaking Saturday. A second person was able to get to shore and was taken to the hospital. Officials say the kayaker likely was not wearing a personal flotation device or PFD. This boater tells Fox 31 safety is the most important part of prepping to go out on the water.
In my case, I make sure I've got my PFD, including my noise-making device. I've always got a cell phone with me that's charged up. Not that you're always in a place with cell phone coverage, but it certainly helps out.
While the air might be getting warmer, the water takes longer to do so. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Easy Monday morning driving throughout the Denver metro area and beyond. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town, as well as up north to Fort Collins and down south to Colorado Springs. Back to town over on the far east end near the DIA area. E470 northbound between the 6th Avenue Parkway and 38th Place Toll Plaza C. Stop and go traffic through road work. We're seeing a 33-minute delay. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, rain and snow showers later today. High 47, overnight low of 28. Things warming up immediately tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 57, starting a warming trend throughout the rest of the week. The current temperature is 39 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the shocking story of how activists pressured a family into changing their daughter's name and gender posthumously. Listen to Red Pilled America wherever you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America, the storytelling show for Middle America.
Beat the spring cleaning rush by calling my heroes at Zero Res, the only people I have in my home. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. With Zero Res, my carpets get really clean with no dirt attracting residue. No soaps, no chemicals, safe for kids, pets, and you. This month, 3 rooms starting at just $109 and $75 off their tremendous air duct cleaning. It's critical to clean now. Get the dirt out from a long winter, the spring pollens and allergens. Purified soft water, the best cleaning agent in nature. Truly clean. You can feel the difference. I call it Zero Resified. Call now, 303-471-5150. 303-471-5150. Or ZeroResDenver.com. Zero Res. Forward or backward, it spells the same.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Hey, it's Dan. Join me today at 4. We'll dive into the latest craziness from D.C. and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Well, let's start off this week of spring and beauty in the Mile High City and around the country, of course, from where you're listening. And we will take your problems, questions, and complaints. You'll see in my wide shot here, I have Paul the Waterman with us. We're talking about water. It's one of my favorite topics, and I'll tell you why. It's amazing to me how many people, they do all they can to keep healthy. I do. I have GrossmanWellness.com. Truly, I go there, and they do blood work every 3 months. And then they also give the sups and all the, prescription drugs. It's a concierge program. It's a wonderful thing for a few $100 a month. Anyway, I digress. The reason I'm bringing this up, we talk about everything, food, supplements, but not water. What's amazing to me is water flies under the radar. If you're doing everything else but drinking tap water or not enough water or whatever, you're doing yourself a disservice. So water is really important that you have the right stuff. It really is. Paul just told me going into the show, and then I'm going to take your calls. Gary wants to talk about an issue with an online auction. Nicholas wants to talk about welding. And whatever you want to talk about, give us a call at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Hey, Tom?
Yes?
We need to be very aware. Today's April Fool's Day.
Yes.
So make sure you have your cynical hat on if we get any crazy calls.
And I wouldn't mind if we did, because if we did, it would be my job to decipher them. And that would be fun, by the way. But I'm going to say something now so my listeners can rest assured, and I mean this. I am not going to do an April Fool's joke on them. But I may ask you to do something for someone else, on someone else. But in any case, Paul, the waterman, is with us. And he said water is not safe to drink anymore. Now, what do you mean by that, Paul? I mean, are we exaggerating a little here, sir?
No, I don't think so. With the nanoplastic problem that we have, the articles that I read online this last week regarding nanoplastics being found in the human body, placentas, arteries, penetrating into unborn children.
Yeah.
The PFAS problem that we had started a year ago. Forever chemicals.
Plus hormones.
Prescription
drugs.
Antibiotics that are in the water. Do you realize that when the PFAS started last year, there were 4 chemicals that were made up the PFAS family? Now they added another 189.
So why do I talk about this? I talk about it because I know people care about their health. So here's what I'm saying. If you care about your health and you do in the organic food and supplements and stuff, you got to think about water. That's all. And so does a triple filter reverse osmosis truly remove all of that?
Nanofiltration, absolutely. And now here's my concern.
Well, is that triple filter reverse osmosis that I have nanofiltration?
Yes, it's 0.00.
Okay, good.
micron. So absolutely correct. But my concern is, over a period of time, plastics don't disappear. They don't, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so that is my concern. If we don't address this problem now, I'd like to see us stop, using plastics, recycle more, because what's clearly occurring...
Stop using plastics for what?
Well, stop using plastic bottles.
Okay, for consumables.
When you and I were younger, everything was in a glass bottle. We recycled glass. Remember taking and turning the glass bottles in for money?
Right.
Right? I mean, what would you talk about, a good thing for an environment?
Yeah. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, time to talk to Gary. So, Gary, what's going on with you, Gary? Welcome.
Thank you. I wish this was an April Fool's joke. It's not. So recently I participated in an online auction with one of those big, like 3 auction houses, the ones that...
well, just tell me what it is.
What's that?
Which one?
Julian's Auctions.
I never heard of it.
Okay, they do a lot of the movie star stuff and rock star stuff, high dollar stuff.
And what were you bidding on?
I was bidding on some like memorabilia, personal memorabilia, and
for who?
Like clothing, personal owned items from a business. I'll tell you exactly what it is if it's airworthy, but I'm not a high dollar bidder at all. I have a personal budget.
Was this memorabilia of someone that you admire?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and to give you an idea, my budget it was $2,000 to $3,000, and I figured I could get 1 or 2 items for that, plus their handling fees and shipping.
So what's the problem, man?
Well, here's the thing. It's a 3-day auction. I didn't participate the first day. I watched and participated all the second day and bid on 2 or 3 items. I was rapidly outbid, and I immediately stopped bidding when they crossed my threshold of
So
limit.
You took part in the second 2 days or the first 2 days?
The second of 3 days I took part in. And then the third day I took part in, and I did win an item right in my budget. And I was extremely happy I won that item. So I go, and the auction was still active. I went on just to I didn't see any invoices or notifications coming through that I won the item because I'm signed in to their website. I looked at it's called the Items Won tab.
Yeah.
And so there, I open it up. There's my item 1. Great. But then next to that item is a $26,000 painting that I did not bid on. I never even looked at it. And I'm like, what is this?
Wait. Like, was it in your cart, so to speak?
Yeah, it said I won it, that I bid on it and won it. I outbid 10 people, apparently, and
Did you click it by mistake?
Absolutely not. I never even saw this item. I'd never seen it until I saw it in my Items Won tab, and so, of course, that number blew me away, because the item I won was like $1,500, something like that, and that's my budget, not $26,000. And so, of course, I freaked out. So I immediately notified them during the auction on my logged-in website. They have a text feature or something.
Yeah.
I notified them that way. I called them on the phone because they hadn't responded to me in about 15 minutes on the text.
Well, how do they get payment from you for this? They said that you lost. How much, by the way, how much did you spend on this $26,000 thing?
Well, that's what I mean. I did not bid on that at all.
I know, but how much did they say you bid, and how much did they?
I'm sorry. 20. I think it was right at 20,000, and then they had 6,000 in fees and.
And what about the one you did bid on? Did you get that one too?
It said I won that, and that was the third day that said I won that. That's how I discovered this other item.
Okay, so there's 2 items on your account, and one of them you did not bid on.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the one item I won was like $1,600 and change, $1,600.
Okay.
You know? And my the credit card I had on file with them, it doesn't even. It doesn't go anywhere near the 20. They're
yeah, but here's what I want to know: did they attempt to charge the $20,000?
Right. So then, all of a sudden, and I hadn't received a invoice yet or any of that, and all of a sudden, all these credit charges start going through my card.
But how many card charges?
I got fraud alerts from my credit card they're like, hey, there's multiple
Okay, well, you
multi-$1,000.
can stop that. Gary, let's go here.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, did you stop the charges?
Immediately, and they told me my credit card company said we're going to cancel the card immediately because, this.
But what
this
about the
didn't-
$2,000 that you want to spend?
Well, the auction company, they're just saying, they finally replied to me and said, hey, we checked into this, and it shows you clicked on it, so you've got to pay for both lots at once per the agreement that, when you register to do business with them. And they said, congratulations, pay for your items. And I literally, I don't have $28,000 total to...
Okay, so where does this stand right now?
Well, so I'm trying to figure out what's my best step next. I have not. My thought is I could physically call them and discuss the dilemma and see if there's any way out of this.
Well, there is something out of it. You don't have a contract, and you're done. They can never prove you did that. If they ever tried to take you to court, you didn't do it. Period.
Okay, and I mean, I don't.
I mean, what you do, Gary,
Gary,
you might be banned from that site with this email and login, but here's all I'm saying. You did the right thing. You canceled your credit card. Make sure that when you cancel your credit card, by the way, that doesn't, you need to know this, that doesn't always relieve you of obligation, right? What I mean is, if you get another credit card, but it's the same account, if they can show a pre-existing agreement, they can go to the new card. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
No one knows that.
And I listened to you a lot.
No one knows that, but it's true. The same card, different number, new number, same account, they can go to the new one if they insist. Here's what I want to tell you. What you ought to do is leave it alone and let them come after you. Your insistence will be, you never did it, period.
Okay.
Now, is it possible, Gary, come on, I'm going to ask you here.
Yes.
Is it possible that you did click on it by mistake?
I understand that, Tom, and I can't emphasize this enough. I absolutely did not click on it. I didn't get overzealous or excited. I didn't accidentally click it.
After you canceled your credit card, they said, you're going to pay this, right?
Right. Well, after I canceled the credit card, they ran like 7 different transactions. And
are they coming after you still?
Not yet. They just sent me an invoice saying, hey, this is what you owe,
Okay.
So there's been no demands and no nasty conversations.
Got it. Okay. Keep in touch with us. Keep in touch with us. I don't see a prayer where these people are going to be able to collect this. By the way, earlier I had mentioned Grossman Wellness. I should mention for $249, they'll do an introductory blood work, consultation, exam, all of that, just to see where you stand. I urge you to call them, 303-233-4247. It's where I go. I credit them for health and wellness, grossmanwellness.com.
Children's Hospital Colorado Mighty Millions Raffle. You could win the $2.7 million grand prize show home custom built by J-Con Custom Homes. Located near Sedalia, this beautiful show home is over 5,500 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 2 covered decks. Awarded fully furnished and landscaped with $875,000 in bonus cash. Make a mighty difference for patients and families at Children's Hospital Colorado. Buy your tickets now at MightyMillionsRaffle.com.
Okay, we are having a special movie event on April 9th at Southlands AMC. That's at Southlands Plaza up there in Aurora. It's beautiful. Free drinks and popcorn, but the important thing aren't the free drinks and popcorn. This is a informative documentary drama type movie talking about the baby boomer dilemma. Joe Chiano is sponsoring this. He's a certified financial planner. So the obvious question is, why, Joe?
Well, Tom, a lot of people are very confused and actually afraid coming into retirement. They feel that perhaps the stock market is not giving them the growth that they need. And secondly, they're losing a lot of money. So they're very concerned as to whether or not whatever they have on their retirement accounts is going to last them. So the movie is going to show people that there's an alternative way to plan for retirement, a safe, guaranteed way that people cannot lose any money, nothing to do with the stock market, and it has a lot of potential for growth and a lot of benefits. And the nice thing about it, Tom, is that you, Mark, and Suzanne are going to be there. And I think, this will add a lot of wonderful things. People will get a chance to meet you personally. And that's really, the power behind this movie. Not only the movie, but you guys being there and supporting it, because I think people need to learn how to save money and how not to lose any money, especially on their retirement accounts. And the movie's going to be April the 9th. It's going to start at 7 o'clock sharp. So we want people to please call in and come in maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes before the movie so they can get a seat. Now, seating is limited, as you know.
Yeah, but you're going to reserve seats for people who call. Maybe not the exact seat, but you're not going to oversell it.
We can't, because there's regulations on the theater.
All right, so they should call 303-779-6600, mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600, mymoneymyway.com. Thank you, Joe. Hey, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. That's the website. The number is 303-920-1622. What Frank wants you to know is that he'll do a market analysis of your home with no obligation whatsoever, but it'll give you an accurate idea of what your house will sell for on this market. He'll take into consideration all factors and give you really good information, so if you ever want to sell, you'll know, and he can even tell you what you can afford to buy. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Man, I don't know what to tell you besides the credit card cutoff and just good luck. But so try that route, but please stay in touch with us, and Tom can try to take it a little bit further if he can find an expert on it.
You talk to them once a week on the phone, easiest phone call ever. These are the people that are there to both boost you up.
Gosh, I've worked here for decades and haven't listened.
If you decide you want to take control of your health by losing weight.
Oh, good old days. Well, listen, brother, good luck with that, and thank you so much for listening to us.
I
Take care.
recommend it highly enough. But I will be here to support you as well. A-Rod will be here to support you as well.
A-Rod?
We both lost weight, and even on maintenance, I'm continuing to lose a little bit of weight. So I love this plan. Go ahead and get
Gary gone.
Gary gone.
Right, depending on how much weight you want to lose. Give them a call by going
So your daughter literally ordered something for you?
2 GPS units, about $650, $700 a piece. And a little like him, later that night I'd get an email from some guy on eBay. Thank you so much for purchasing the 2 GPSs. They'll be in the mail tomorrow. I'm like, I was just looking, not buying. So I don't know how a 4-year-old or 3-year-old.
Oh, it's possible. It is so possible.
Here you go.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so Nicholas wants to talk about welding work. He's looking for welding work, I believe. Is that right, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about yourself. Now, where did you learn welding?
So I learned welding at back down in Pueblo in the Pueblo Community College. I went there for about 2 years ago to learn about MIG, stick, and all that stuff like that.
Okay, and what kind of work are you looking for? Ornamental or industrial or what?
So I was looking for anything right now because right now I try to apply for anything for welding, but right now I put applications in. Then when I put applications in, they call and say they need people with more experience, stuff like that. I just need to get my foot in the door.
You can't get your foot in the door. They don't even have apprenticeships.
I try to put down for apprenticeships, but there's a lot of people trying to get into the same position as me. So it's kind of hard to fight over.
Let me ask you something. When you went for your certification, did your instructors and stuff, did they say you had a gift or you were good or you knew it, or how did they rank you?
So when I went to go do my classes, I was in the top tier in my classes, but I was a top tier in all my classes still. But the hard part is getting your foot in the door. The first thing.
No, I understand that, Nick. Have you ever had an interview? Have you ever gone as far as an interview?
Yeah, I done an interview. I done interviews before.
And what do you think the stumbling block is?
For me, because I done 2 interviews before in my past, say for a fabrication shop.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me that there's a lot of things that they want people more experienced because they don't want to slow down to help people not help me out slow down because I know welding, but there's a lot of things in welding that you don't learn in school that you have to learn on the job.
But don't they have to kind of familiarize anyone with their particular shop, no matter who they hire?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean, but I guess because
I'm wondering this, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever offered to work on a trial basis just to see if you can pick up, where you volunteer as an intern for a few weeks or a month, no more than that, to see if they're willing to take a chance on you? Have you ever asked them about that?
No, I never asked anyone about that.
You know, it's unorthodox, but I believe it might be a way to get your foot in the door. Let's say a guy says to you, or a woman says to you, we have a shop here, and, we need to have people hit the ground running. What if you said you're willing to volunteer as an intern, unpaid internship, and you'll waive your right to pay for a temporary basis to see if you can fit in? I wonder what they would say about that. I mean, Nick, I want you to leave your name and number. And what I would like to do is, first and foremost, after people listen to this, now some people are listening live, a lot of people listen to tape delays and to podcasts. If they're interested in someone, let's see what we can do. Now, Nick, why did you go into welding?
Hang on, Tom.
Yes.
You may want to take line 1.
Okay. Maurice, go ahead. What's going on, Maurice?
Hey, Tom. How you doing? I love your show. Anyway, this young man's trying to find a job for welding. He can go ahead and apply at A&S Construction. It's a company based out of Canyon, but my company, we have several jobs all throughout Colorado, which basically Pueblo, Canyon City, La Junta, Lamar, you name it. So if he could just put his application in at A&S Construction, there's a good chance that they might hire him.
And do they do A&S, do they do a lot of fabrication?
We do fabrication, construction. We're miners. We do asphalt. You name it, we do it.
You know, that's a good idea, and I thank you for that, Maurice. Hey, Nicholas, can you take down this number for A&S? Can you take it? 719.
Yeah, 719.
275.
275.
4555.
4555. Okay.
Tell him you were wondering about jobs and all that, and then just see what happens. Let us know. Stay in touch with us and make sure, Nicholas, we also get your number, because if we hear of anything after you've been on here for a while, I also want to pass it along. Okay? 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Paul the Waterman, we do have a question coming in from a text, and they want to know, is it practical to do, if they're rather than a whole house system, is it practical to put in two little systems depending on what their use is? I think they're talking about drinking water, like if they have a bar and a kitchen. Or what is the practicality of a triple filter, or just, let's not say triple filter, reverse osmosis for the whole house? Is that too expensive? Hold on. There you go, sir.
Reverse osmosis for the whole house can range, close to $28,000.
You don't need it.
Right. I mean, it's something rarely, if you're on well water with high turbidity, high salinity, high
You
salt.
only really need that reverse osmosis for drinking.
Right. So point of use reverse osmosis for drinking water, it all depends on how the house is laid out. If you have an unfinished basement, we can, run that single-use RO system to more than one location.
Okay, you could through those pipes.
Right.
Okay, but for whole house systems, what's the most practical?
For, water conditioning, water softening is the most practical. Hard water is something that our body does. It's a mineral our body does not absorb. It's an inorganic mineral, so our body doesn't use.
But does softening through a house also purify it?
No, softening is softening. Softening takes out hard water, and what I was going with this is hard water can beat up filters. And reverse osmosis systems can only operate on water that's less than 7 grains hard.
Okay. So, if you wanted to do a whole house system, softening would help your plumbing and your washing and your skin.
Well, and your appliances, because the EPA is going to mandate,
and then you only use the reverse osmosis where you want your drinking water.
Drinking and cooking, absolutely.
All right, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
So this is Denver's Top
Mark and
with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan.
Well, he couldn't connect.
Damn it.
HOW, Denver.
Why is it?
There's no accesses available.
Pack traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Easy Monday morning driving throughout the Denver metro area and beyond. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town, as well as up north to Fort Collins and down south to Colorado Springs. Back to town over on the far east end near the DIA area, E470 northbound between the 6th Avenue Parkway and 38th Place Toll Plaza C. Stop and go traffic through road work. We're seeing a 33-minute delay. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, rain and snow showers later today, high 47, overnight low of 28. Things warming up immediately tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 57, starting a warming trend throughout the rest of the week. The current temperature is 39 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. Democrats abandon Israel. Not just the squad, but now Schumer and Biden.
And the UN demands Israel stop killing terrorists.
And Biden cheers.
Download Verdict with Ted Cruz now wherever you get your podcasts.
Keelan Park, they're attorneys to do estate planning. And they're really big enough to get it done the right way and small enough to give you the personalized attention. Let's put it this way. What they will do is go over your entire estate, and that will be complimentary. They'll question you, talk to you, take notes, and then come up with a plan, whether it's a complete will with a trust or just a will, Or maybe you need just payable on death certificates and beneficiary deeds. All of this can be discussed, and then they come up with a plan with a flat rate price. And here's the great part about it. You can do all or part of it, and they will execute it. And not nickel and dime. It's one price. Keel and Park, 970-818-8198, lawkp.com. The Art of Granite. How simple is this? You call Mitch Floria right now at the Art of Granite and get a price for your countertops. Not just granite, any material you want, natural stone or man-made material, like that beautiful new quartz. Now, here's the deal. What they may want is some square footage and a pick or two, but you'll get a price. You also get a choice of incentives like a backsplash, edge treatment, free sink, or whatever you want, including 15 and 25% discounts for certain counters and counter cabinet combinations. Give them a call. Get your price right now. TheArtofGranite.com, 303-386-5919.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, Melissa. My name's Kelly. I'm calling from the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show, and you have left us a message regarding an issue you're having with your
Good morning, Troubleshooter Show. Did you want to talk to Tom and the gang?
Martino, which is 303-627-8466. Again, that's 303-627-8466. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have led with that. That's good. Oh man.
Guten Tag, wie geht's heute? Guten Tag. Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. And you know what? You can go back and watch the YouTube version where we cuss at each other during the commercial breaks. Well, it shouldn't always be silent. Sometimes we just don't have anything to say to each other. But like right now, I'm on the YouTube talking to you. Nobody hears you, but they hear me right now.
If you can email it to help@troubleshooter.com, I'll go ahead and send you. Okay.
That's fan-freaking-tastic, man.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We are here, as I said, every day to help you Monday through Friday. And we ask that you give us a call if you need a problem, or if you have a problem, question, or complaint. And we're going to talk now to Patty. Okay, Patty, what's going on?
Good morning. Thank
Hi.
you.
What's happening?
So my question is, I have a will,
Yes.
and I have previously used family members as my executor for my will, but because of the fact that my family lives in another state, they find it would be difficult to be an executor of my will. So I'm actually trying to find a fiduciary, an estate fiduciary, that can handle my will at the time of my death. I have gone online and searched over and over and over again for what I think is called an estate fiduciary, and all I can come up with are financial advisors.
Well, what you're looking for is an administrator, and they're private administrators. And whether they are private administrators or public administrators, I want you to listen to me because this is very important. Normally, it's the worst thing you can do. Because they have no regard. I'm not saying they're not honest. They have no regard for what's left over. They charge, tax, and fee the hell out of your estate. And mentally, when you go to one of these people, they're thinking mentally, how much does she have and how much can I get to keep? I hate to tell you this, but this is the way it is in the industry. This is the way it is. Okay? Now, the best way to do it is a private attorney. And then, but you still need someone. You need someone, that's why they call it a personal representative, to really handle it. Unless you have someone who's like a brother or sister or, someone you just, a mentor, someone from your church or civic organization. It's very difficult, Patty, and I urge you not to do it. But if you need someone, what I'd like to do is ask one of our estate planning attorneys what they would recommend. Because public administration, and that's what it is, even if it's private, it's public, meaning it's not the family. It is a nightmare, And only because they're going to rob you. How big is your estate, Patty?
It's not that big. I mean, I own a house and I don't have any debt.
Okay.
So
how much is your house worth?
Estate's pretty small.
Patty?
I'd say under $500,000 right now.
Okay. And do you have stocks, bonds, savings, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any stocks. I don't have any bonds.
And let me
I
ask
do
you
have
this.
savings. I have retirement accounts.
There's a way to get around this completely, and that is to bypass probate, where everything automatically is transferred. What do you want to do with your stuff?
Well, I had hoped to pass on my personal properties to my family, which I can do that. But the house, I do not want to put my house into a beneficiary deed because nobody in my family wants the house. And if I do put it into a beneficiary deed, that eliminates my chances of being eligible for Medicaid should I need Medicaid in the future. And so basically, the house I was going to let go to probate and just have.
You understand if you have a house, if you have a house and need Medicaid, then the house then Medicaid gets a lien, right? You know that, right?
That was not my understanding.
Well, that's what happens.
My understanding was this. Okay.
And a beneficiary's deed will not interfere with that because Medicaid will come first. So,
Okay, that was not the way I understood it.
And who did you understand it from, Patty? I want to make sure I'm right.
From an attorney
Was it an
that I had
estate-
spoken with while.
Was it an estate planning
Yes.
attorney? What I'd like to do is
Yeah.
make sure I'm right. I don't want to give out wrong information for anyone listening. So hold on. Why don't we get our estate? I want to do a favor for you here. Well, let's just ask one of our estate planning attorneys. This is a good topic. And what I'll be asking specifically is this. If you have a home paid for and you do a beneficiary's deed, does that preclude you from a lien from Medicaid? When you said it would screw you up for Medicaid, what did you mean by that?
I was told that if I had a beneficiary deed on my house, that when the time came that I needed Medicaid, I would not be eligible for Medicaid as long as the house was in a beneficiary deed.
Okay, let me ask you the converse of that. What if you did not have a beneficiary's deed? Why would you be eligible?
Because I would have spent down all of the rest of my earnings, all the rest of my accounts, my retirement accounts, everything else would have been spent down to the point where I didn't have any money for
But what
care.
would have happened to your house? Why would a beneficiary's deed screw that up? What would have happened to your house?
I don't understand that. I'm assuming that would mean that because I still have the house, that means I still have assets. And
Well, okay, so what you're saying is this. If you don't put a beneficiary's deed on it and you need Medicaid, you do understand you would either have to sell the house or eventually Medicaid would get paid back. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that I understand.
But I believe, and this is what we're going to find out, that a beneficiary's deed does not take effect until you pass. And then if you had a loan on your house, a lien is a loan, and you passed, the beneficiary's deed would not affect that loan. So I'm not sure how it would affect Medicaid. That's what we're going to find out. We got more coming right up. Kachina, let's try to get someone who can address this. Our number is 303-713-TALK.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
Easy Monday morning driving throughout the Denver metro area and beyond. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town, as well as up north to Fort Collins and down south to Colorado Springs. Back to town over on the far east end near the DIA area, E470 northbound between the 6th Avenue Parkway and 38th Place, Toll Plaza C. Stop and go traffic through road work. We're seeing a 33-minute delay. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, rain and snow showers later today, high 47, overnight low of 28. Things warming up immediately tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 57, starting a warming trend throughout the rest of the week. The current temperature is 39 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. Democrats abandon Israel. Not just the squad, but now Schumer and Biden.
And the UN demands Israel stop killing terrorists.
And Biden cheers.
Download Verdict with Ted Cruz now wherever you get your podcasts.
Become the Banker is a concept pioneered by Joe Ciano where you overfund life insurance and then use that as a retirement plan. We don't talk about it a lot, but it's a solid plan. Also, annuities can be a solid plan. And you can learn about all of these at a movie event sponsored by Joe Ciano on April 9th. That's just 8 days from now. You can call and reserve your seat. This movie is at AMC Southlands, and it will be a documentary/drama, and it will teach you what you need to know about retirement and where you might be deficient. Give Joe a call to reserve your seat or go online, mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. The name really says it all because Genesis does specialize in everything on the outside of your house, which makes them uniquely qualified to handle all of your hail damage. If you haven't put in a claim, put in a claim. They can help you. One source, one invoice, one point of contact. Mark Szymanski and his team, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Hi. Thank you. Will the Rockies have 2 wins?
You mean like total? Of course they will.
Really?
Kelly, is she getting one of our people on?
She didn't know which people to get on, but she's doing it.
Well, Keelan Park or Mackenzie.
Dan, it's Kelly over at the Tom Martino
Looks like she
Show.
might
How
be
are
working
you?
Dan.
I'm good too.
Did you say Maragon?
So we have a woman named Patty on
Maragon?
who's looking for an estate plan, and she's kind of looking for more of a fiduciary. And Tom wanted an expert on to talk about, how that would work. Perfect. All right. Oh, crap. I will make sure that Tom knows that you have very limited time and go to
Tommy
you
is
straight.
very limited.
Off the top. Okay. All right. Hang on for me. Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I heard you.
Yes.
I have Dan McKenzie, but he has very little time. He's got a meeting at 11.
All right.
Why can I not type? Oh my God. My head is in the clouds. I'm too excited from yesterday.
What, Purdue's still in it?
Yes! Shut up!
What?
Where do you think I'm going to be if I can get off on frickin' Friday?
I don't know what's going on.
I want to be in Phoenix.
And I will be at Coors Field.
Hey.
Oh.
When is the eclipse coming?
Tomorrow? Oh, no, a week from today. God,
I'm not
tomorrow.
going to have a chance
A week from
to
today.
get there. Damn it. I wanted to fly there.
We want that too.
Yeah, but my helicopter is down for annual. Son of a bitch.
I never even thought about this. Tom!
What?
Tom!
What?
Can you fly me to Phoenix?
When?
Friday.
Nope. His unit's in the
No, it's down
hangar.
for annual.
But Purdue's in the Final Four.
Are you shitting me?
No!
Wow.
How did that happen?
Are they always good?
They're very talented, but we have had issues over the last few months.
They're like a Make-A-Wish ad to the Final Four this year.
No, they weren't.
Yep.
No, they weren't.
Dying Kids Wish on the
This is
team.
a completely brilliant plan, Tom. If you could fly me to Phoenix
Well, you're going to have to
just
provide
until
that.
Sunday.
You're going to have to spin the rotor with your hands because his engine's down. All right.
Well,
coming
don't you
back.
have 3
No.
planes?
App and search Big Take. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
I want to go right to Dan McKenzie, and I'm just going to ask Patty to listen right now. Dan, there's 2 things I want to ask you very quickly here. First and foremost, we've said this before. If you don't have a friend or a relative that you trust or it's not convenient to have them as a personal representative, I personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't like public trustees or what you call even a private trustee that you hire because I think they rape and pillage estates. Now, I'm sorry, Dan, but what is an alternative for people? Can they hire like your law firm? Can they hire a law firm? That wouldn't be bad.
They could. My law firm is not really doing that at the moment, but certain lawyers do, so that is an option. There are, so it depends on, there are a number of different fee arrangements. One is that you could be paying a percentage of the estate, and that gets very expensive very fast. There are some who do an hourly billing arrangement, and so there are individuals around here that actually we do refer quite often.
Okay, so they're not all pillagers, is what you're saying.
I mean, they're fiduciaries, right? I mean, if they're pillaging, like I know you're being a little bit of tongue in cheek there, but yeah, they do have an obligation to do the best, and it is obviously a little bit tricky.
So
but
you
yeah,
have some that you trust, is what you're saying.
I do, yeah, yes.
Okay, good to know. Next question. Now, regular Medicaid for doctor's visits and stuff, they don't come after your house. But if you go into a nursing home and leave your home, as I understand it, they can put a lien on your home, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Now my question is this. If there's a beneficiary deed on that home, does the Medicaid lien come first?
Yes, and they will. The beneficiary deed actually has language that is required to be on there by the statute saying, hey, this might disqualify you from Medicaid by putting this on there.
Okay.
So
now, why does
they're
it
aware of
disqualify them from Medicaid? Because it transfers, it doesn't transfer the house until death. Why would it disqualify her?
Because it skips probate, and the way that Medicaid gets its lien, enforced potentially is
Got
a
it.
creditor claim in the probate estate.
Got it. Now I understand. Patty, you're absolutely correct. It does nix you from Medicaid. Thank you, Dan. And if you want to get a hold of Dan, it's McKenzie Law Firm, and you should call him, Patty, for some information on those fiduciaries that he trusts. 833 CO Plans. Kachina, make sure she gets that. 833 CO Plans. His website is coplans.co. Thank you, Dan. Very, very clear, concise. We got the information we need. Now, Anthony, what's happening, Anthony? Anthony?
It's a disaster. Hello, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, I can now. What's going on, man?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a disaster of a weekend.
What's going on?
First Thursday, my dog needed gastrointestinal surgery. So we've had him recovering since Thursday from VCA, and then Friday morning I woke up, and I'm a 2-time combat veteran, and it kind of smelled like the Kandahar food pond, if anybody knows that.
Oh my
Pretty sure there's a couple people.
Oh my God.
So unfortunately, I blamed it on my dog the whole day.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. So what? It turned out to be a sewer backup?
The entire neighborhood is backing up into our basement.
Oh my
Taylor
God.
Morrison said they're not responsible for it. HOA said to call my home insurance.
Now hold
Their
on,
emergency
Anthony,
plumbers
I
told me
may
that.
run out of a little time. I need you to hang on. There are very specific questions I have about this. It could be someone else is responsible. It could be you're responsible. It could be you have coverage. It could be you don't. And it really depends on a number of factors. So I want to ask a couple questions. Is this a single family home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did they track as to why there is a backup only in your home?
Yes, apparently the plumber said that all the lines are backing up into my home because all the sewer lines have flattened out or slumped in the neighborhood.
All right, hold on. I don't know what that means. We'll talk about it coming up. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hang on for more. We also have Paul the Waterman with us at waterpros.net if you have questions about water. All of that on the Troubleshooter Show. And yeah, I know it's April Fool's, but I'm not going to do that to you. Maybe I'll ask you to do it to someone else.
Family law.
Like fake pregnancy tests are always funny.
Insurance is at 303-515-5000.
Do you want anything?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so Tom endorses this firm, and that is who we always refer people to when dealing with that. No problem. Thank you. All right, good luck. Okay,
What?
I don't know
About what?
what to do.
Seem kind of tense.
I think Suzanne's tired of me.
That happens. About what?
I'm going. You're gonna have to answer the phones.
Yeah, we went down Friday. All over the country that go there just to stay there. Just stay there.
Yeah, the whole thing. It's all inclusive too. I mean, they have several restaurants, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, other than that's it, the food and the people just go and hang out there. They have family activities.
Oh, Shannon.
No, it's
Is this
Colorado
some sort of
Springs.
Purdue thing?
Yes, I want to go to the
Stop
Final
involved.
Four.
Remember, stop involving me.
Oh my God.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino urging you to use Frank Duran, the real estate man.com with Remax Alliance 303-920-1622. That's 920-1622. Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing 303-761-6400. I listen in the morning because it's smart and witty. Michael Brown. Yeah, Brownie knows his stuff. Tom Martino. Martino, he doesn't let anyone get away with cheating and humor. Dan Caplis. The Caplis, he keeps finding a good fight. On Denver's talk station. Yeah, 630. The station I keep it on. 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's on your mind today? This hour brought to you by 888heating.com. They will take care of you with high-efficiency replacements for your heating and air. Plus, they're doing free plumbing inspections, complete. If you have leaks and you want to know where it's coming from, you hear water running, hammering pipes, whatever, free inspection. That's right. It's hard to believe, introducing their new plumbing division. And also, of course, they'll do free HVAC inspections as well. And all of that at 888heating.com. Let me give you that number, 303-770-2776. Now, so Anthony had a sewer backup, and he said the entire neighborhood's backing up into his basement. And I want to talk in general about backups. Normally, when there is a backup, normally it's impossible to find a culprit. So normally people have sewer backup coverage on their insurance. And about, I would say 98% of the, well, no, about 90% of the time over the years, people cover their own damages with their own insurance. If people don't have sewer backup insurance, they end up having to foot the bill. In rare cases, there was something done out in the street by a contractor or lack of maintenance by the sewer district that causes it, and they come in and at least pay for some of it, if not all of it. Now, HOAs are never responsible for it, ever. It is the sewer and water district. If anyone other than the homeowner or a third party who did damage to the sewer system. If there is normal settling over the years, that's on no one either. So if it happens to you, you got to clean it up. So, Anthony, we have to really analyze what's going on. If there was a restaurant in the neighborhood, let's say, and they didn't have a grease trap properly installed, you could go after them. If the sewer and water district did something defectively or lack of maintenance, you could go after them. But I'm going to tell you most of the time, it is your responsibility as a homeowner. Not your fault. Remember, I'm not saying your fault. I'm saying your responsibility. So what do you think is going on in your neighborhood?
From what the plumbers told me, they said there's some damage on the pipes that made it sag, so the pipe's pitch is not pitching towards the city sewer line anymore. And it's also leaking
That's
into
your
my
that
home.
sounds like your service line. Your service line.
No, it's the community's private line. But I live in Altera High Point, and there's like a whole 4-block community, and these are brand new houses.
Okay, so what they're saying is the community has a big service line that no longer drains properly into the city. Is that what they're saying?
Correct. And apparently, if it's not fixed, it's going to drain back into me and my neighbor's home in 2 weeks.
Okay. Now, you have two problems. One is the immediate problem of the damage. And again, the homeowners association, how old is this community?
In September, I believe.
It was built here. So in other words, it's a brand new community. Is it a part of a community, or is it a community unto itself, just 4 blocks?
It's a community part of the Altera High Point community. So it's Aurora, Denver.
Is it a new filing?
Yes.
Okay. The HOA then has hundreds of members, or just that little 4-block area?
No, it has hundreds of members.
Okay. The HOA, you're not going to like this, but the HOA probably is not responsible for it. The HOA didn't do anything wrong. Okay? They're not responsible to you. But let me explain something. Are you positive that the sewer line is private?
Yes. I had a lot of help with Denver Waste Management on Saturday, and Miss Faye looked at the maps and confirmed that it is a private line, and apparently it could be a builder defect.
Okay. Now, first and foremost, do you have sewer backup insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Thank God. Now, next, to keep it from happening again, have you ever heard of a sewer check valve?
No, sir.
Some sewer systems don't allow them. However, you're in a private community with a private line, and unless there's something in the bylaws, you can have a check valve put in your sewer line that would prevent a backup. Now, unfortunately, it'll go to your neighbor. And if your neighbor puts one in, then it's going to go out to the street. In other words, it's going to go the path of least resistance. But to protect yourself, there are sewer check valves, okay? That's one.
Okay.
Number 2, the bigger picture, the community. If that line was put down just last year, then that contractor would be liable to the HOA if the HOA hired them. Did the HOA hire them, or did the developer hire them?
It was the developer, Taylor Morrison, and there has been some townhouses with similar issues with sewage boiling up from their toilets.
If the developer I know it's the developer. The developer, what they do is they hold back vacant land when they have a community, and then they go in later on in different phases and they develop that part of the community, right? Correct. And then once it's done, they turn it over to the HOA. So the developer and the contractor would be responsible if they installed the sewer improperly, okay? If they didn't put enough pitch on it. But if the sewer settled, that's not their fault. There's a difference between installing it incorrectly without the proper bedding and without the proper backfill and without the proper blah, 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 blah. There's a difference between that and normal settling. They have no control over normal settling. If the community settled and now it's backflowing, the whole community and the HOA is going to have to deal with it. Okay? They're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But So there's way too much homework for you to do alone. And if your HOA won't help, that's because not enough people are affected and they don't care. That really is what it boils down to. Unless there's 20 or 30 people, they don't care. And your developer didn't do anything wrong. Your developer hired that contractor. I doubt the developer said to the contractor, hey, make sure you do this wrong. I mean, there's no reason to. They paid to have the sewer installed. Now, the sewer line guy or the contractor, what did they do wrong? It could be that they did it wrong. But for you to try to take this on would be hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawsuits. Okay? It's just not going to happen unless the HOA gets upset with the developer and the developer gets upset with the contractor. Nothing will happen. Nothing. Okay? So the only thing you can do is protect yourself.
Okay.
I would get a sewer line check valve.
Okay. I will do that.
Anthony, this is sad because it could be the worst scenario is that no one really did anything wrong and just in this it's a play on words, but it's real. Crap happens, if you know what I mean. Because it's settled. Did the plumbers have an opinion? I mean, without looking at it, did they? I don't even know how they know that the private service line slopes the wrong way. How did they even know that?
After they cleaned all the service lines for the entire neighborhood, they have a camera that they put into the pipe, and they were able to confirm that there's no pitch.
Okay, now.
And there was a lot of
hold on
work
then.
in the other
How many
houses.
homes on that one line with no pitch?
There's something like what, maybe 40 homes?
Okay.
50
Then
homes? I don't know, between
you
townhouses and
need, here's what
single-family.
you need to do if you want to try to take the bull by the horns. You need to get a petition going and get these homeowners to sign it. And you need to tell them they're in danger of a sewer backup. You're not the only one. And that you have the results of a camera that says that it slopes the wrong way, okay? And then once you get that petition signed by these homeowners, or a majority of them, you can take that petition to the HOA and say, we need this fixed. And you can stay in touch with me each step of the way, and I'll help you. But you got to start somewhere. First, you do the check valve, right? Second,
yes, sir.
Second, that's just to protect yourself. Second, get a petition going with all homeowners affected and make sure you get the information. Who hired that plumber to do all those drains? Who hired him? Each homeowner?
No, I ended up hiring him because they said it's my problem.
But you said, wait a minute. But you said they cleaned all that. You said they cleaned a bunch of people. Who did each homeowner call them?
No, the HOA was able to reach out to Professional Plumbers Denver, and they brought out a big truck, and then they cleared out the entire neighborhood after they discovered that it wasn't just my home.
So the HOA does know there's a problem.
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. Is the HOA going to fix it?
They don't know right now if it's their problem or Taylor Morrison's, but they did tell us to reach out to our home insurance so we can be taken care of.
I understand that, but it's your HOA that has to take action against Taylor Morrison, who then takes action against the subcontractor. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Renew Home Innovations has the most beautiful bathroom showers custom made to your movements. Whether you want a bench, a grab bar, you want some soap dishes, dispensers, perimeter drains, no threshold ever. You can walk in or use a walker or wheelchair. It's great for people with disabilities. It's a big rectangle shower. Beautiful. They do it in 2 or 3 days. No maintenance, stone walls, glass panels, and here's the best part. 72 months to pay no interest. RenewHomeInnovations.com. That's 303-904-2000.
Yep.
Words you never want to hear from your doctor? You may need surgery for that. Hey, it's Ross, and I am such a happy patient at Regen Revolution because my shoulder doctor said I probably needed surgery and a difficult recovery. Instead, I went to Regen Revolution. With their treatment plan, I'm out of pain, lifting weights again, and no surgery in sight. If you have painful joints or loss of mobility and want to feel better and avoid surgery, get started today at RegenRev. That's RegenRev.com.
You know, I heard this silly call from someone who said they wanted to wait to hire an attorney until after their car was fixed because they don't want to be charged a percentage fee on their car. And I said, silly, this is a personal injury attorney, and it doesn't work that way. John Fuller, our personal injury expert, is going to explain that. John?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Tom. That's just not the way it works. You can hire me the day of or the day after an accident, and your car repair component of your claim will remain completely separate. And what that really means is that generally there's different adjusters at the insurance companies for the property damage and the personal injury side. We will deal 100% with the personal injury side, and that will leave you able to communicate freely with them to get your car repaired and to go through that process. However, I want you to do that well, and so to make sure that you're fully armed for that process, I actually wrote an ebook that I give away for free, and if you go to my website, you will see a link that you can click on there, and it will be emailed to you, and that'll give you everything I've learned in 20-plus years of handling these cases of how to deal with property adjusters without having an attorney on your side. So go to my webpage, get your free copy of the ebook, and you know, if you're injured in any way, make sure to give us a call and talk about your rights. It's very important to get started early on, and we'd love to hear from you.
And John, the website is myaccidentlawyer.co. And as soon as you do that, you will see a place to get that book. You'll also find out how to get in touch with John, and of course, I'll give you his number too. And remember, it's always complimentary consultations and then flat rate price or percentage fee basis, I should say, a flat percentage fee basis on your injury and never a charge on your property damage. Now, here's the deal. That's John Fuller, myaccidentlawyer.co, 303-597-4500, 597-4500. Now, K&H Home Solutions, they are the oldest home improvement company in Colorado, and man, do I love what's going on there now. They have made a connection with Alpin High Performance Windows. Alpin made right here in Colorado, which means the gases are put in here, the frames are made here, so you don't have any pressure differentials coming from sea level. They're made right here, and that's Alpin Windows, and that's K&H Home Solutions. Get your free consultation and estimate. They're American-made products, and they are the most incredible windows for beauty and for energy efficiency. Now at K&H Home Solutions, khwindows.com, 303-421-7100.
Thanks for speeding up at the end there, buddy.
Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Look what's happening out in Franktown at Mark's house.
Wow. Okay. Issues with a contractor. Got it. What's your name?
Isn't that weird? Snowing?
Did you say Craig? C-R-A-Y. I'm sorry, what? Clay. Got it. All right, Clay, go ahead and hang on for me, and Tom will be right with you, okay? All right, hold on.
Heart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, Clay's got an issue with a contractor. Whatever your issue is, give us a call. Plus, we have Paul Dowding here. PaulTheWaterman.com or PaulWaterPros.net. Hey, Clay, what's going on?
Well, what's going on, Tom, is back in August of 22, my neighbor burned my house down.
What?
By throwing a lit cigarette.
Wait. You can't just gloss over that, sir. What do you mean your neighbor burned your house down?
Yep, she threw a lit cigarette back in August of 22, and it was when it was really hot, and she threw a lit cigarette in her backyard, which caught her house and her car on fire, which shot towards my house and burned my house on fire.
Now, by the way, I just want to know this, and then we'll go on to your problem. Was she like, does she acknowledge that? Does everyone acknowledge she started it?
Basically, I have video footage because I have.
No, what I mean is, was she ever charged with anything, or did your insurance try to go after her? What's going on there?
She is going through court right now.
With who?
With Adams County. The state is going after her.
Okay, so what's going on?
So what's going on is my insurance and the contractor are fighting, I guess, or something, because all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, the contractor just went and put the...
was your house destroyed, by the way?
It was. It was a complete loss. I had to have... it had asbestos in it, so it had to be completely abated. My family of 5, we lost everything because it had asbestos in it, and we had to build it back basically from the ground up.
So this is in August of 22, and now we're coming up on a year and a half. What is the problem today?
Well, the problem is today that the contractor is putting a lien on the house, and I know by the Colorado laws, it says within like 2 months after they quit, after they do the lien, they can technically put me into foreclosure. I don't know what I can legally do.
The contractor is putting a lien on your house because your insurance isn't paying?
Yep.
Who is your insurance company?
Safeco Liberty Mutual.
And why is Safeco not paying?
That's a good question. They keep saying, the contractor didn't do something right. Everybody's pushing the buck back and forth. I mean, one person is telling me that...
Are they paying your temporary living expenses?
We just got our house back in November of 23.
So you are living in your home?
Yep. I just got back home.
And how much is the lien for?
$278,000.
Okay. Now, I don't understand this at all. I mean, why are they not paying?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. And when I talk to the dwellings manager or whatever he is, he's saying that it's because we have to have our contractor fix it and so on and so forth. They just keep pushing the buck back and forth. And I'm like, guys, we need to get this fixed.
You still haven't answered me. What has to be done that your insurance is waiting for?
They have to get, what is that called? I guess the estimate. They have to fix it to where they can prove how much is actually needing to be paid for.
I still don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused.
Well, hold on. You're telling me that they won't pay because they... did you upgrade? Did you do a lot of upgrades?
Nope, I just did. I think I did a few things, but a lot of it I did myself.
Are you paying for the upgrades yourself? Did you pay your deductible?
Yep, I paid my deductible. I did all the upgrades myself.
Who'd you pay the deductible to?
Few things. The Safeco actually took it out of the money that they gave me for my personal property.
Yeah, and so that was deducted from your personal property, okay?
Yes.
And you didn't get paid anything for the construction at all?
No, and considering I put a lot of it in myself, like all the ceiling fans, some of the pod lights, the furnace and AC I paid for, they just installed it. I had a lot of things I did and bought so that they could put in, or I put in, with my own money.
Does your insurance say they're not going to pay?
No, they're not saying they're not going to pay, but they really could give two cares that there's a mechanical lien on the house.
Okay, it's a mechanic's lien, it's called. And when was the last time the contractor did work?
The contractor was here back on December 8th, the last time, and they were finishing up things on the outside of the house.
All right, January, February. Okay, they're within their 4-month time span to do that. They only have 4 months. Did you get an actual notice of lien?
Yes, I got it the day after the lien was, or I guess the lien was done on a Thursday. I got an email from them saying they were going to attempt to lien, and then on Monday I got the official letter. So Monday the 25th I got an official letter.
So the lien hasn't been filed yet?
No, it's been filed through Adams County.
Well, they have to give you a 10-day notice, then they file, but I don't care. I'm not going to get into the weeds here. So they can foreclose on it at any time. They don't have to wait. In fact, they have to do it within a certain amount of time for it to work. Who is your lender?
My lender is Chaffa.
Your lender needs to know about this too, because your lender loses the house too.
Yes.
Have you talked to Chaffa?
I have told them, and they said they would make notes, and I'm supposed to keep them in the loop. That's all I was told.
I want to get our insurance expert on to talk about this. I want to know, what do you do in this situation? Because your insurance is going to be responsible to you. I mean, they can't drop the ball, but you need to get an official reason why they're not paying. I mean, if it was done since December and they haven't paid, did they say when they would pay or what they need in order to get paid? Did they give you any information like that?
The only information they gave me is they need to have my contractor get back a hold of them because they're doing the adjustment on the scope of practice. So once they get that all fixed and all the codes fixed, they have no problem paying it. But the problem is he's saying right now, if he went off of just what my contractor sent them, I'd have to come out $80,000 out of my pocket. And I can't afford that. I'm on disability.
No. What do you mean? Why would you have to come out $80,000? I don't get it.
Because they're saying because of our, I guess our limits. We're really, really close to our limits. And they're saying that, they're not going to pay anything over my limits.
Well, of course they're not.
My fault.
Of course they're not. Clay, I mean, you have a limit. You didn't get full replacement coverage?
Back when I got this, no, I did not. I didn't even know about it.
So wait a
and
minute.
that
What
was
kind of coverage do you have? Do you even know?
Now I do because I changed insurance.
What kind of coverage did you have for this loss?
For this loss, we had it to where it was up to double of what my policy limits were.
Okay. What
So
was your
basically, I had
policy
the house
limit?
covered I had the house covered for $250,000, and then they doubled it to $500,000. So they said, "Oh yeah, that'll cover it." And then I had to have asbestos done, so they took that off of the dwelling cost for the rebuild. And now they're saying the rebuild's going to cost like $400 and some thousand to rebuild my house.
You said it was already done.
Yes, I'm back in it. Yes.
So you're not above the limit. 400 is under 500. You're not above the limit.
Yes, but what they did is they said that the abatement, the asbestos money comes off of dwelling cost, the rebuild cost. So it was $200,000 for abatement. So that put me down to where I only had $300,000.
All right, hold on. We need to get Compass on. We really need to get Compass Insurance on because they can help us. Hold on a second. 303-713-TALK. This is terrible. We'll get an answer for you, though. And this is something important for everyone to listen to right after this.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Pretty easy driving throughout the Denver Metro for this Monday 11 o'clock commute. One incident on the south end of town, Santa Fe southbound before West Bowles Avenue. We've got a crash. Slow traffic back from Bellevue. I-25 north and southbound. We're back to highway speeds through town as well as up north to Fort Collins and down south to the Colorado Springs area. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area as well as out west into the high country. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Clouds rolling in with rain and possible snow showers today. High 47 degrees. Overnight low of 28. Things warming up tomorrow. High 57. Mostly sunny skies. The current temperature in Denver is 46 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan at 630 K-House.
Summit Racing has the parts you need to keep your truck rolling right. From custom grills to tonneau covers and everything in between. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends April 14th, 2024.
On this show alone, we have discussed property damage and catastrophes like crazy. Just this show. American Restoration 24/7 can handle it for you. You heard the guy with the fire, right? He needed asbestos abatement. You heard the other one earlier today that had sewer backups. If you need a company to help you abate any kind of dangerous substances in your home, that's amrest247.com. That's their website. American Restoration, I have been dealing with for years. They're good people. Don't let your insurance pick the company. You pick it. American Restoration 24/7, 8337-AMREST for any property catastrophe. They can mitigate the damages, the dangerous substances, and help you rebuild. 8337-AMREST. 8337-AMREST. amrest247.com. Hey, FixMyHome.com is Fix It 24/7. I love this company. I know George, the owner. I've known him for many, many, many years, and he has turned Fix It 24/7 into a dependable company that can do everything you need. Right now, you want to get your furnace extreme clean, adjusted, and tuned with a no breakdown guarantee for just $39, and that is a screaming deal for new customers. Get your summer on before the heat comes. FixMyHome.com. Hey, Simply Floors Inc. will come and look at your floors and make some suggestions and sell you great floor coverings from Proximity Mills. No job is too big or too small. And they have great experts. Make your own appointment or stop by their showrooms. Find out about all of it at Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
When it comes...
Hey, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this then.
She's working on Compass, but you are interrupting her attempt to book an
You tell her to shut up.
Well, she wants to see guys dribble their balls somewhere.
I got it.
She's hooked on that Purdue deal.
I'm going and I'm seeing all my buds from diving back in the day.
She's flying Diddy Air.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Okay, you filed the mechanics lien within the specified amount of time, right? Okay, then you... Hold on.
Yeah, it's
now,
about the apartment
you file
that you were having
a lien
with
foreclosure
Four-Star Realty.
lawsuit. Okay? It has to be within
Perfect.
6 months after the lien.
All right. No problem.
now-
Well, I have an open line.
You don't need...
and,
well, hold on.
Tom
you
is
need...
ready
No,
to talk
because
to
it's
you.
way more than 75.
So I'm going to go ahead and
You
place
need to
you
do a
on
lien
hold,
foreclosure
and he'll be
lawsuit.
with you as soon as
okay?
possible. Okay?
Now,
There might be a little
here's
bit
the
of a
great
wait
part
time,
about it.
So I
when
just
you file
ask
the
that you be
lawsuit,
patient with me.
you file a notice with the recorder's
No problem.
office
Hold
and the
on.
public trustee. Then you serve the lawsuit. I don't know if it can be small claims, actually. You serve the lawsuit. Then you go to court proceedings. And the process will involve pleadings and motions and all that, okay? Then it says the lien holder must prove the validity of the lien and the amount owed, okay? Then she's gonna dispute it. Then, if the court rules in favor of the lien holder, the issue,
I'm going to Phoenix.
there will be a judgment issued. So yes, you need to do. So, you file the lien, now you do a judgment with a lawsuit. If that could be small claims, maybe. I don't know. We'll find that out. Then, once you do that, you initiate a foreclosure sale. And you should just use an attorney because you can add your fees to it. Once you get a judgment, even if you go to county court or district
You know what?
court or
I
whatever,
have time to pee.
you can add attorney's fees, collection fees. So now if you get that lien, you can foreclose, do it literally but you shouldn't do it. And they'll add their fees right on top of it. Call Frank Ball when you... And then you have to give the money back once it goes to foreclosure. Once you get paid what you're owed and all your fees, they get the rest. But they're not going to let the house... Does the house have a loan?
Here you go.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mike has a comment on Clay's issue, and then we'll go to Jeremy over at Compass Insurance Group. But bottom line is this. He has an issue after a fire. The house is rebuilt. We have a lot of problems coming up we got to talk about. But, Mike, what is your comment?
Tom, I think you're both missing an important aspect to this case.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm a retired firefighter, and the fact that she tossed that cigarette and started the fire, and then that fire crossed her property line, makes this felony arson. And she is responsible, not his insurance company.
Well, I know that, but for all intents and purposes, you don't wait for the law and a lawsuit, and you let your insurance cover you and then subrogate.
Right, and I guarantee you they will, but he may find some relief with her insurance company if his
You mean for the
insurance company won't
shortage?
step up.
For the shortage.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
I want to lay this out to Jeremy Curzio over at Compass Insurance Group, by the way. That's home of the free insurance checkup. And they'll check your insurance to make sure you have everything in order, by the way, or you're not paying too much or you're not underinsured, like in this case. And you can call them. I'll give you the number, 303-996-9000. Jeremy, bottom line is this. I never heard of this. Clay has replacement coverage up to 2 times the policy limit. Have you ever heard of something like that?
Yeah, it would basically be if they have 100% extended replacement costs.
Okay, now.
Basically.
Okay, but here's the problem, okay? They're going above that.
Okay.
So, he's going to be responsible, right? There's no two ways about it. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, in a normal case where, his insurance is rebuilding, he would be covering the difference.
Now, they're
once the
subtracting.
total's maxed
Here's
out.
what they're saying. Clay, are they saying they're not covering the asbestos abatement, or they are?
Yes, they covered the asbestos abatement.
And they added it into the hold on, and they added that into the total rebuilding cost, right?
Yes.
So what is the total rebuilding cost at this point?
Right now it is like $678,000.
Okay, so you're going to be responsible for $178,000. Is that right, Jeremy? Or am I losing? I mean, technically that's true, right?
Correct. Yeah. Now, have you got? I mean, is it one bid that he's gotten, or is
No,
this
it's
the best
done,
bid?
brother. It's over. It's built. He's living in it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I mean, now what is your mortgage on this house, Clay?
I have it's $238,000.
Well, guess what? And what interest rate is it?
It's at 4.5%.
You may have to get a second or another first. Clay, I hate to tell you this, man, but you're only covered for what you're covered. Jeremy, have you seen this happen to people before because building costs went higher than they had coverage for?
Oh, we see it every day. And I mean, it's tough because people are calling in trying to save money, and we get that, especially with these rates. But so many of the policies, when people send their deck pages in, I mean, they're hundreds of thousands of dollars short of what it's going to cost. People don't realize what, the current cost of construction is. It's a lot higher. So it's tough because that's the majority of the conversations we're having.
Clay, you may have to sell. You may have to sell your
coverage.
house, Clay. It's probably worth more than it was before, right?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
How much more is it worth?
It's worth over $500,000 now.
And what did it used to be worth?
When I bought it for $280,000.
So, unfortunately, you have to take. You have to pay part of it, right? You do know that. Let's just start with that. You know that you owe the amount above your coverage, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, the second thing we need to talk about. If you paid for stuff and it wasn't part of the rebuilding cost, they shouldn't count it. But you're still going to be owe money. It doesn't matter. Did you get credit for the stuff you purchased directly?
No, I have not got credit for it yet.
Well, if you put in if you did some labor and bought some materials, what does all your part add up to?
Right now, I'm at almost $60,000.
Now, on the $60,000 that you put in, when they figure the rebuilding cost when you figured the rebuilding cost at $678, did you include your $60 in that?
Yes.
So the builder, if the builder gets paid the $500,000 in coverage that you have, what balance is the builder expecting? He's not expecting the $60 that you put in. What is the builder expecting?
They're expecting $218,000.
On top of the $5?
No, on top of the money that they've already received from insurance.
But that doesn't mean anything to me. I need to know. You have $500,000 in total coverage. So I need to know how much above your total coverage will you owe? You're not going to owe you're not going to owe the 178 because that includes 60 you already spent.
Yes. They're saying my insurance guy told me I was going to, if they had to do it as of right now, I'd have to pay out $80,000 out of my pocket.
And you will. And that's a deal, especially with what the house is worth. So it's too bad, but it's really true. You're going to have to pay it. You will. Now, Jeremy, never mind. Jeremy, I don't see any way around this. Do you?
No, I mean, I caught the tail end before I came on about that it was a fire from another house.
Now, the subrogation, when they subrogate, will they try to get his money back too?
They should. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have a legal responsibility to, but
he can go after them too directly.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. I mean, I think if I'm
we have to take this break. I'm sorry, but Jeremy, I'm going to tell you, Clay, you're going to have a lawsuit against your neighbor as well, but you are going to be responsible for the 80. We got to take this break.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
It's an easy drive throughout the Denver Metro for the late morning commute. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from the DIA area. Through Commerce City, I-270 westbound roadwork continues at Vasquez with slow driving back from Northfield and Quebec. Heading to the south end of town, Santa Fe southbound just before Bowles Avenue and Littleton Boulevard, a crash has slow driving back from Bellevue. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, rain and snow later today, high 47 before the day's end, overnight low of 28. Things warming up throughout the rest of the week. Tomorrow, high 57, mostly sunny skies, high 68 on Wednesday. The current temperature in Denver is 47 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the shocking story of how activists pressured a family into changing their daughter's name and gender posthumously. Listen to Red Pilled America wherever you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America, the storytelling show for Middle America.
Mark your calendars, April 9th, Tuesday, for this movie called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. Listen, this is not a sales job. It's a docudrama about the coming retirement crisis for many baby boomers and how you can fight it. It's sponsored by certified financial planner Joe Ciano. To find out more and to get your free ticket, mymoneymyway.com. mymoneymyway.com. You must reserve a seat. It's free. mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney. And I always say this, I hope you don't need him. I really do. One thing I don't want you to do is if you are in an accident, go searching for an attorney while you're under pressure, especially if you're out of work and you need money. John Fuller can help you with an immediate phone call. And he has pledged to talk to his clients before they onboard. Instead of a call committee, intake committee, call center, he'll talk to you. You call 303-597-4500. When you do call and you decide it's a good fit, he works on a percentage fee basis. And then, of course, he will work for you with his cell phone number you'll get, and you can text or call at any time. He's pledged only to take the number of cases that he can work personally, and I call that the Fuller difference. John Fuller, you will notice the difference. 303-597-4500. 597-4500.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on for me, and he'll be with you as soon as possible, okay? Hold on. All right, Clay, I hope that helps. Thanks so much for calling. All right, bye. Good morning. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show. Okay. Is she there now? You're on this Friday? Okay, hang on 1 second for me. Is it Mary? I have 10 a.m. Yeah, I have the note on Friday to call her at 10 a.m. Correct. So on Friday, there was actually a different woman here. Her name was Suzanne, but my name's Kelly, and I will be here on Friday. Yes. Probably me.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here with waterpros.net, by the way, for the best water systems at the lowest prices. Jay's got a comment on Clay's issue. Basically, Clay's neighbor burned down his house by throwing her cigarette in the lawn, burned down her own house too. His insurance is only covering about $500,000. He covered about $60,000 already with extra stuff, and then, furnaces and stuff he paid for in his labor. There's going to be a deficit over his limit of $80,000 that he'll have to either put a second on his house or whatever. You have a comment on that, or did he hang up?
I'm here.
Okay, what is your comment?
Okay, several things. First of all, when the arsonist burned his house down, it's going to be a lawsuit. That's going to take time, but eventually he should be made whole. So with that in mind, what I would do if I were him, I would take, because he's obviously on a fixed income, he's probably old enough, I would take a reverse mortgage on this house, pay off whatever I needed to. Then I don't have to make a single payment. I can live on what I get.
What a good
Then,
what a
when the
good
lawsuit comes
idea.
through, and I'm made whole because you can go for every single cost. He needs to be made whole by a good attorney. Then he pays off everything with that settlement.
And
But
by
if
the
I-
way, her insurance would have to pay for her, but he goes after her. She turns it into her insurance, and then her insurance pays if he wins.
Absolutely.
That's a great idea, Jay. Thank you very much, man. I'm telling you, what a good idea, a reverse loan. Wow. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Please get your calls in, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or 303-MARTINO. My heroes at Zero Res. The only
Rock, thank you.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Courtney Pierce is on about his auction that he's holding. Do you want to have him on at the top of the hour?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
On a reverse, you take the value of the home, and the most you're going to get is 60%, mostly, but most of the time, if you're not really over 50%. He said his house was worth what, 5? So he can get 250. He said he owed about 180 already, right? So add the 180 plus you have to pay that off first. Then you add this 80. Let's say another 100, 280. He'll be right on the cusp. He may not be able to be remade, get everything back he has to pay. But then when he sues her, but they're not going to see. But the thing is, when he sues, he's not going to be paid for upgrades. When you sue someone, you don't get upgrades. His replacement cost, you get actual cash value when you sue. You don't get betterment. That's the one thing people do not fucking understand. When you sue, you never get full replacement. Ever. They don't pay. I know. It happens all the time.
Wonder why.
I mean, I'm saying you look okay with hats, but you got nice hair.
So true.
Mine just went away. So I keep it short. Because keeping hair like mine, it's not looks terrible because it looks too. I mean, I'm not bald, but I am very. I mean, it's what do you call it? Extra thin. So, but I think extra thin looks better shorter than bald. You look like a moron. Or these mullets and shit. Old guys, you ever see the old guys that are bald up here? Look stupid. I know, no, that's Trump. I will tell you this though.
Yeah. Did we go pee-pee?
Hey, Courtney, it's Kelly
I'm
over
behind
at the
anyway,
Tom
so
Martino
you're good.
Show. How are you?
Unless you're really wanting to stay around.
Good. So we're just about ready to come back to the top of the hour, and Tom wanted to have you on to talk about your roller auction.
Yes. Okay. Glad I appreciate you. I'll be
All right.
back.
Hang on for me, and he will be with you momentarily, okay? All right.
Click it or ticket. You know the campaign that I support is the Lick It Then Stick It campaign.
Okay.
I think it's much more compassionate. Stop trying to make us safe, you freaking clogged douche nozzle commie politicians.
Exactly what he said.
Well, it's just that if I want to be safe, I'll be safe. Stop. Not everybody's going to make it out of this thing alive. Freaking relax. Holy. I've shut down my pooter and I'm just filling in briefly for Dragon. What do I need to know about the phone? Is that, it's not Compass still, is it? Who's on sex? Who's on sex? Fine sex.
I have no idea. Oh, Courtney Pierce.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I made it. A buy-in bill?
I'm still filling it out.
It's good to have you back. Three young girls killed, charged with killing a disabled man. I bet they videotaped it.
Ooh, here's hoping. We got to get the clicks.
You mean, how far away is some Vietnamese village? That's kind of silly, isn't it?
That's not right. That's not right. 10 seconds here, guys.
What?
See, and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. How's everything going with you? And I hope that you had a wonderful day yesterday. Of course, we all know what it was. It was a Transgender Visibility Day. I hope you all celebrated and had a great time. And welcome today. Let's talk about your problems, questions, and complaints. What's going on? You know, I personally am going to lobby for Therian Day. And by the way, this is a joke, okay? We're not like, don't get all bent out of shape. You know what Therian is? You know what a Therian is, right? You know what it is? What is a Therian? Come on, you're an intelligent guy. Tell me, Dragon, what's a Therian?
No clue.
It is a person who identifies as an animal other than human, either in philosophy or spirituality or both, with some physical characteristics. It is a deeply held belief and identification. So, here's the deal. Being a Therian used to be considered a mental illness, but it's not any longer. It is a recognized way of life. So, welcome. I'm lobbying for a Therian Day, National Therian Day, because I want to identify. I'd like to be a horse for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to get into it right now. 303.
How about a horse's rear, Tom?
That's part of being a horse. And anyway, again, welcome to, why don't we make, hey, We could make April Fool's Day National Therian Day. But I don't really want to make fun of people who are Therians, though, because they truly deserve their own thing. If they want to be a Therian, they should be. You know, we have giraffes and hippos. We have all kinds of horses, and a lot of them are wolves. I'm not sure, though, that we need special restrooms, because most animals just go outside, right? So we could have a Therian lawn. So let's just do that. Let's start solving problems seriously now today. Welcome, folks. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to ask Courtney Pierce from Buy and Build. You know, I love Buy and Build. In fact, I've done so much business at Buy and Build. We did a laundry room with cabinets and counters. I did my hangar. I did another room, a whole garage. Somebody once asked, Tom, you're like some materialistic weirdo that you would have such beautiful shaker cabinets in your garage with freaking granite countertops. Okay, that's what it looked like. People thought I was an idiot trying to show off. Do you know why I had those shaker cabinets and granite countertops in my garage? Courtney, you remember, I told you why, right? Because, because I went to the Home Depot, and then I went to Lowe's, and I went to all the other big boxes, and those crappy press board or tin cabinets and crappy whatever they do, Formica, workbench or whatever, butcher block, were more expensive than what you sold me with that beautiful stuff. Honest to God, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So normally you go there for great deals, right? Normally. Now, about how many times a year do you have your special auction for even more screaming deals?
We try to do 2 a year. This is our first one this year, so we might do another one by the end of the year. But
so I want to explain. You can always go to Buy and Build. Is that 560 South Lipan? Do I have that right by memory?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll give you that phone number. You can go there anytime for great deals, but the auction is different. Now, what do you do with this auction? Do you take stuff that hasn't sold at Buy and Build, or how do you get set up for this auction?
Well, some of it's, when we have some customer returns or if somebody mismeasures their kitchen and they bring back a couple cabinets, we end up with brand new cabinets sitting in our showroom. So what we do is we just piece a kitchen around those cabinets, and we buy more new cabinets and put them around there and display them as full kitchens. We also do a full truckload of merchandise from a closeout broker that we deal with in Missouri. So there's some closeout cabinets in this auction. There's tile, there's hardwood flooring, there's trim, there's carpet, all sorts of different stuff that we don't normally sell at our showroom that is available for sale to the highest bidder at the auction. You can get some really good deals. In the past, we've seen hardwood flooring go for a few pennies a foot. Remember that? Yeah, that's correct. Now, if people... I'm looking at a lot right now of unfinished hickory, 4-inch. It's a premium product, and it's sitting at 30 cents a square foot right now, and it's probably a $5 square foot product. Oh my God! Now, when is this auction on? Like, what is the when does it go through? Let's talk about that. Okay, so it's online right now. You can start placing bids currently. It's at rollerauction.com, and just look for the Buy and Build auction and click on that
now,
link.
Rollerauction.com. Okay, I'm on Roller Auction, and then how do I find specifically Buy and Build? So you click on their auctions tab, and even if you just scroll down on their homepage, it should actually be there. Let me go to that. Okay. Part. Well, I'm just looking because I want to make sure people find it, because I don't want them to think, not that it matters. I mean, they're going to have fun on this site anyway. I just want you to know when. Oh, I see it. You're on the top row, second over. So there are many auctions. I just want people to know that. But Buy and Build is one of them. So if you go to rollerauction.com, right on the front page right now, the top row, it's the second one over. It's Buy and Build Home Improvement. Now, it starts, it says here, on Wednesday. Is that right, or is that when it closes? Well, so
that's when the first item closes. So if you click right now on the bidding available, there's a tab right that says bidding available. You click on that. It'll take you right into the auction and show you the items and what the current price is on those items.
I'm going to tell you
You'll be able to
something.
bid, and it even has a timer on it for you.
You're never going to find anything lower priced for the quality at anywhere, no matter what. So if you go there, you'll see a lot of stuff. I mean, even the bathroom hardware is unbelievable, the prices. And so these
right now there's a shower set sitting at $6. You know, that's
those
$200
big rain shower heads.
Yep.
This is, and okay, there's some
really,
vanities
really amazing
here.
deals that can be had at these sales.
There are vanities with granite tops for $70. What are you kidding me? Okay, I love this kind. Oh, vessel sinks. I always love these. This fancy vessel sink. The current bid's $22.50. And then, man, do you have a lot of stuff. You take up pages and pages. Big tub sinks, beautiful sinks, just all kinds of decorative
We
stuff.
we have a hot tub in this auction. We have a triangular spa, a 30-jet hot tub in this auction.
So, yeah, you have multiple pages. Go through it. RollerAuction.com. So how does it work then come Wednesday? Talk about how that works.
Sure. So at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, the first 3 items will close at 1 o'clock, and then at 1:01, the next 3 items will close, and so on through the whole sale. If you're bidding on an item right before it closes and somebody outbids you 30 seconds before it closes, it goes into an extended bidding for about 3 more minutes, and it allows you to counter bid so you don't get something stole out from under you at the last minute.
This is
You
so
could also
cool.
place a maximum bid that will keep bidding for you automatically up to what the maximum you're willing to bid on an item is, and a lot of times it'll never get to that amount. You'll get it still for the lowest price possible.
Now, normally you have some pretty not all of it, but some of it gets pretty weird that you pick up along the way. Anything weird in this auction?
Yeah. There are definitely a couple items. When you get into the higher number pages, it's a lot of stuff from my brother's warehouse. So there's some toys in there. There's Hot Wheels monster trucks. There's Stretch Armstrong hot dogs, believe it or not. I think that's the weirdest thing we've got. It's a stretchy hot dog. It's like a Stretch Armstrong, but it's shaped like a hot dog. A couple just goofy like gift items. We've got, some electronic items.
Yeah. I'm looking right now.
Things.
It's fun. It's fun to scroll through this. RollerAuction.com. RollerAuction.com. Man, some of these backpacks, is that for real? $10
yeah,
for this?
Those are really nice, actually.
Oh, my God. This is a big, beautiful backpack. And, there's just all kinds of weird stuff, man. Coleman lanterns. So there's really no describing what you have. You just have to go look. RollerAuction.com.
Yeah, my brother's business is a closeout business, and you can get all sorts of treasures. So I never know what I'm going to get at these auctions until I unwrap the pallets, and then I'm like, wow, look at that. That's really cool. And it's pretty fun.
All right, so that's RollerAuction.com. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you being here, Courtney. I love the place. And remember, for regular shopping, 560 South LePan, and that's just the way it is. Now, Raul has a question on the home insurance. Raul, I'll answer you after the break. What is your question?
A few weeks ago, you were talking about loss assessment coverage, people being short on that. And today, we heard the guy whose house got burned down, him being short. How do we find out what the appropriate coverage is? Because if I ask my insurance guy, he's going to be glad to sell me all kinds of insurance. But what kind of resource, unbiased, is there to find out what coverage you should have based on where you live and what you own?
That's a great question. Maybe we can get our people back from Compass. Raul, hang on, because I do have the answer to it coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Beat the spring cleaning rush by calling my heroes at Zero Res. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. This month, 3 rooms starting at just $109 and $75 off their air duct cleaning. It's critical to clean now. Get the dirt out from a long winter, the spring pollens and allergens. No dirt attracting residue. Zero Resified. 303-471-5150 or ZeroResDenver.com. If you're looking for an RV, that's a recreational vehicle. I always jokingly say it stands for real vacation. You're on your own schedule. You go where you want, when you want, how you want. And you know what? LazyDays.com is the RV authority. What does that mean? They have them all. Every category you can think of, from Class A, Class B, Class C. They have fifth wheels, pop-ups. LazyDays.com, plus maintenance facility up at exit 240 and I-25. That's Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont. LazyDays.com. You know, RKC Automotive is Ramondo and his team on Evans, west of Tejon. I love this place. I've gotten great reviews on them. Now, if you Google it, you're going to see RKC Automotive. It looks like a little house. It's not. His shop is next to the house. And you're going to love it. RKC Automotive, old cars, new cars, foreign cars, domestic cars, transmissions, engines, electrical, 720-749-3965 with an eye toward value. Really great prices. 720-749-3965. Look for RKC Automotive on Facebook. The Art of Granite will give you a price right now on the phone. The Art of Granite. Just give him a call. You'll talk to Mitch, and he'll be happy to weigh in on the price of your countertops, whether it be granite, quartz, quartzite, marble, whatever you want, they do. The only thing they don't do, I think, is concrete. By the way, you can pick your incentive, free backsplashes or premium edge treatment or a free sink or 25% off with cabinets. 15% off a straight job. Why don't you go and figure it out and get your price, yes, on the phone. TheArtOfGranite.com. Remember, tear out and haul away is always free. 303-386-5919.
You know, the biggest reason people don't invest is because it's too complicated, crazy. You'd rather have the cash sitting in the bank, earning less money, than use it. So you're not saving or investing. You're losing money month after month. It's depressing. If you're looking for an investment you don't have to check 10 times a day, Noble Gold Investments is your answer. Precious metals are simple, and Noble Gold Investments understands them. You'll get a dedicated American expert who will run you through your options and be your personal contact whenever you get in touch. No call centers, no hassle. Just simple, straightforward, and real. This month, Noble Gold Investments is giving a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin with every qualifying IRA investment. Just use the promo code GOLD. Go to NobleGoldInvestments.com now. NobleGoldInvestments.com. And if that's not a reason to put your money somewhere else, we don't know what is. Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy. Troy sells more houses.
Hello. Hey, just got general questions on home insurance. Okay, hold on.
Radio station. Troy Hansford, he spends tens of thousands on marketing to generate demand for your home. Troy has hundreds of approved home buyers looking for houses, and they might be 500. You're not above the limit. Give Troy a call at 720-900-4433. And if for any reason you need to sell Troy will buy your house.
Trying to find a chart for totality, so I know where to fly into. Because I want to try to find a campground.
Have you been thinking about selling your home?
That's Red Pill America.
I'm gonna run and get some water.
Damn, I had one that was so great. It had all the campgrounds.
Everything with that. Absolutely.
Room starting
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll fly in and fly home. We don't even stay. There's no reason to. I just got to find the right chart. You mean, when do I get too old? No. Only for if I want to get paid. But there would be if I was commercial. I couldn't fly right now. I'm already too old. Did you know that? 65. Bastards.
10 seconds, buddy.
Local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Raul has a question on house insurance. He wants to know, hey, how do I know what coverage to get and how much to get so I am covered? He said, I don't know if I can trust an agent because they're just going to try to sell me as much as they can. I'm not sure about that. Jeremy, first and foremost, are there any checks and balances to find out if someone, does an underwriter say, wait a minute, this is way undervalued? Or does an underwriter say, wait a minute, you got way too much coverage? And does it pay to have more coverage or less? Because the more coverage, you don't get it. Even if I insured for $1 million and my house is truly only worth 500, I don't get the extra money if it's destroyed, do I?
Correct. No, correct. You don't. You would get up to what it's going to cost to rebuild. And yeah, there are checks and balances to make sure it's not horribly underinsured or overinsured. I think the issue that we're seeing and have seen over the last few years is how long, and people don't realize how long it's going to typically take them to rebuild their house. So if it costs you $400,000 to rebuild your home on today's dollars and you have a loss, you're not getting that rebuilt. Most people, at least, aren't getting that rebuilt right away. It's could be up to a year before you get a contractor who and get under contract. So you're subject to a cost in the future. You need to have, and that's what that from the last call when we talk about that extended replacement cost. That's what that's geared to do, is that from the time you set up the policy until the time you need it, those two numbers could be different. That extended replacement cost is supposed to cover that gap.
Well, here's what I want to know then. Who estimates, if I come to you for insurance, who estimates how much insurance I need?
So there's software, it's called a replacement cost estimator. And we will put all the information of the home in, the square footage, kitchen, bath, all that stuff.
And the area?
It's give us a number in the area. Now, and the thing to understand, we're not so much looking at a real estate value as much as we are a rebuild cost.
Right.
So the value of the home could be very different than what it's going to cost to replace, both more or less. So we're much more concerned what's a general contractor going to charge you. They typically charge by the price per square foot. We're trying to come up with that number.
And then the personal property is separate from that, right?
It is, yeah.
So on replacement coverage, let's say it's going to cost, by today's estimates, on paper, $500,000 to rebuild. Remember, that's not the value of the home, that's the rebuild. So if it's $500,000, can I get unlimited replacement cost if it goes up? Or does it only go to double? What does it go to?
Every company is different. So we have right now, we're down to one company that will do the unlimited, which is called guaranteed replacement or uncapped replacement.
And what company is that?
For that, Acuity Insurance.
So,
great
for example,
company.
and you're fine to talk about this since you guys have all my insurance. For example, what would mine be? Do you know? Is it double? Is it what?
Let me pull up.
I don't even know. I, honest to God, don't know. And you don't have to talk the dollars,
so I think
but
yours is unlimited too. So Pure, the company we have with, they are also a guaranteed replacement cost. They have pretty high starting point, so most people aren't going to be qualified for them. But you do have the uncapped.
Now, Raul, do you have any questions for Jeremy directly?
Just about the loss assessment coverage. I know you can look at your HOA's master policy, and then they'll have an amount that they're covered for. Like, how do I know if I look at it? Their master policy says $300,000. Do I say, "Oh my gosh, that's way too low," or that, "Oh, that's good enough"? I guess. How would you do it in a condo association or townhome?
Is that expensive
area?
coverage to begin with? Let's start there, Jeremy.
It's not, no. And so that's the thing. I mean, let's say you have 25,000 and you bumped it up to 50. That might cost you $20 a year. And so what you want to look at, the HOA's policy's deductible, and you want to divide that by the number of units that are going to share in that deductible, and that will give you a pretty good idea of what your assessment's going to be. The problem is they're changing those all the time. So if you look at something and you go, okay, it's at your share is going to be 9,000 based off that math, you got to really pay attention that they don't double that deductible, and all of a sudden now your share is 18,000. So that's when you want to get 25, at least 25,000 in coverage, if not 50, because it's so cheap to add it on there.
And can you get unlimited?
That is not an option to get unlimited.
Can you get 100,000? Because we've had.
No, I think.
Go ahead.
The highest we have is 60. Company offers 60.
Okay, because we've seen, Jeremy, some of these surcharges going to or these assessments going to $100,000.
Oh yeah, I mean if they have a high enough deductible and there's not a lot of unit owners sharing in that, you certainly can see it go higher.
Who's a good company for condo and townhome stuff?
Acuity, who I previously mentioned. I mean, their rates are almost always competitive, and just how they do their condos are great. Most of our companies are too. I mean, condos, they've gone up in price like everything else. They don't seem to vary too much in rate from one company to another, so it gets to be more where coverage could matter more. And that's probably the policy we see more than any other, where people don't have enough dwelling coverage, because I think there's just a false assumption that, the HOA has coverage. And I mean, we see agents, that are writing these policies, and they're not understanding the true cost. Go back to what we were talking about before, the true cost to rebuild the interior of a unit. And what makes these more risky are you can't build the interior till the outside is built. So when you're talking how long is it going to be before you get rebuilt, that whole exterior has to be done before you could even get started. So plan on a pretty good amount of time between when you set this up and when you're actually going to need it, and you need to anticipate cost increase between that time.
Raul, any other questions?
No, I think that answered it pretty well.
You should call
Appreciate it.
Compass, by the way. I'm serious. I don't know who you have. Who do you have right now?
I actually have used Compass several times in the past. They've really done good for me. I'm actually currently with another one of your brokers on your list who's done well for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No problem. Like I said, all the proof is in the pudding. That's what matters. Jeremy, another quick, thank you very much. Another quick question, Jeremy. On insurance, the trend to not self-insure, but HOAs are not covering roof. What happens then if you own a condo? What happens? I mean, what do you do?
You just need to make sure that your HO6 policy is set up to cover everything the HOA doesn't.
Okay.
So there could be policies that limit truly to the interior, which is, even I just said it, but some HOAs, and what you want to make sure you have is that an HOA policy is going to cover the gap of what the exterior HOA policy doesn't. So if they don't cover roof, that's fine. You just want to make sure that your HOA policy will. And then if they don't, you want to make sure you just have that extra coverage to account for that.
Then we have the situation where this one, I think it's Valencia, I'm not sure, but these condos are involved. The HOA is suing the insurance is suing. I mean, it's a mess. And so no one can move back in. They haven't done anything. There's asbestos in there. And these people have been out of their place going on 2 years. And we don't know. They can't even start. They got paid for personal property, but that's it. So what happens? Does the insurance keep paying for temporary living for how long?
It depends on the policy. So like I said before with Acuity, they have unlimited loss of use. So as long as they can't rebuild, a policy with unlimited loss of use would keep paying, but almost every company is going to either have a time limit, 12 months, 24 months, or they're going to have a dollar amount. And that's what makes these policies so risky, and the details matter so much, is because you're so out of control to just get your interior built. So much else has to happen before you can actually get started that you'll have no control over.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you. TheInsuranceHelpCenter.com or Compass Insurance Group, and it's 303-996-9000. More coming up.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half.
Through Commerce City at 270 westbound at Vasquez. Road work in the right shoulder continues. We're seeing stop-and-go traffic back from Northfield in Quebec, about 5 minutes of delays. Otherwise, your standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. It's clean and easy driving. I-25 north and southbound through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. South of there, 225 north and southbound. No complaints through Aurora and the Denver Tech Center. Heading to Boulder, Highway 36 east and westbound flowing free as well. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, rain and snow showers later today. Highs in the upper 40s, overnight low of 28. Things starting to warm up tomorrow, high 57 and high 68 on Wednesday. The current temperature in Denver is 48 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Okay, I really am trying to figure out here. Hold on 1 second, I'm sorry. This is not an April Fool's joke, although it should be. I was just caught without my commercials up. When we talk about having one source for repairs, people say, well, why is that important? It's not always important, but it is if you have a bunch of different damages. I mean, you don't want to deal with 5 or 6 or 7 contractors. Genesis can do the roofing and the soffits and fascia, which is considered trim, right? And they can do the siding, which is a whole different ballgame, and even stucco or upgrade to stucco. Then they can do the windows and doors and painting and decks and railings and outbuildings. I mean, if you do have a lot of damage you want on one invoice, one source, one contact, that's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. But here's another thing. They do home improvements too if you just want to hire them for that stuff. So that's why I recommend Genesis. One-stop shop, good quality, great people, honesty, integrity, 303-679-8509. And the same can be said for floor coverings. Simply Floors, Inc. The name says it all. And they do luxury vinyl planking, hardwood, engineered floors, and also any other kind of floor you want, carpeting, different kinds of carpeting, from Proximity Mills, no job too big or too small, free estimates always, and they have the best installers in the business. You can visit their showroom and find out more about those showrooms or get an appointment in your home at Simply Floors, Inc. That's INC, simplyfloorsinc.com.
Solar, recipe go to work for you. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just results. Frank Durant with Remax Alliance. You get my team's full support, but I personally negotiate the sale for you and you list your home with me. I'm with you every step of the way. Go to Frank's website for tips on buying and selling. Frank Durant, therealestateman.com, or call 303-920-1622. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey, Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas lights on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cashback for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cashback just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cashback.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash.
Sure. What's your name?
Use promo code HAPPY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HAPPY.
Well, Tom can definitely help you with that. What's your name, sir? Okay, Stuart. No problem. All right, hang on for me, and he'll be with you momentarily, okay? Hang on.
He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I recommend David Ellis Jewelry because I've known David for years. I trust him. You can too. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's very important. 303-322-8779. 322-8779. Replacement doors and replacement windows done right. Hi, Dan Zucchini, owner done right. Does the entrance to your home hold the pride and feel of Foster home? Are those interior doors bright and easy to use? Or not? Then, the entrance to your home is that first impression that makes us and our guests feel welcome. With a beautiful new front door by Provia and done right, updated hardware and cluster glass access, you, your family, and your guests will feel more warm and welcome than ever. When the interior doors make you feel blah, we can help. With many material, style, and color options available, let us help continue that warm welcome into all the rooms of your home. I couldn't agree more, Todd. Your mom and I just love our Provia entrance and those awesome updated doors for our home. Folks, give us a call. And don't forget to ask about our rent financing or significant cash discount. Kitchens, vans, counters, and floors, and of course, replacement windows and doors. We have all those to get you right and done right.
Hello?
722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604.
Crazy.
That's 720-488-8604.
Realtors, builders, schools, even amusement parks all use advanced mud jacking. 35 plus years of lifting, sinking concrete from Longmont to Castle Rock. Advanced mud jacking. 303-424-9441. AdvancedMudJackingInc.com.
All right, here you go, Tom.
Now, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Stuart, you have a question about selling a car. Go ahead, Stuart. What's your question? And by the way, we have open lines. I want to also remind you, if you ever have a problem and it's not between the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time, you can always call 303-MARTINO at any time. Leave a message, and we will get back to you. Hey, Stuart, what's going on?
Well, I'm an 88-year-old man who is having to give up driving my car.
Why is that,
and
Stuart?
My son, who lives with me, is going to sell it. And I haven't sold a car in probably 40 years, so I need some pointers on what to watch out for in privately dealing with somebody will come over and look at my 87 Volvo is what it is, but it really doesn't matter what my car is.
Wait. Did you just say an 1987?
Yeah, Volvo sedan 740.
How many miles on it?
With 138,000 miles, and my son thinks that maybe we could get 5,000 for it. But my concern is when people come over, if they do, after on the Craigslist, I think he's going to use, on
What model
happens
Volvo
when
was that?
somebody wants to
What
take
model
it for an
Volvo?
Pardon?
What model Volvo?
740
Okay, yeah.
GLE with it's got a red block. They call it engine. The Swedes call it a bulletproof block. But
has it been good to you? Has it been good to you?
Oh yes. As I say, I've only got 138,000 miles on it. It's been garage most of the time, but
you know, I had one of those. They're beautiful. It was a beautiful car. I had one of those, and I bought it new. I believe
I was the second owner. It had 12,000 on it when I bought it.
I bought mine new. It was maroon, and I bought it in '82. I remember that. Gosh.
Monarch Volvo.
Well, that's not where I did it, but in any case, so anyway, here's the problem with selling. And by the way, they will sell for $5,000 easily if it's in good condition.
I'm not going to be greedy, but I don't want to mess up a bill of sale. I don't know how to do that. I don't know
have
the
you
method
ever,
of
and I'm
payment.
not asking you to do it, but have you ever considered donating it?
Yes, I have. Okay. I'm not a wealthy man. I donate other ways.
Okay,
but,
no. I'm not trying to put you on the
but
spot.
I think it'll.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. You can do whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. The biggest problem you're going to have is the fraud because people are going to try to scam. I mean, I would say you get more scam inquiries than honest inquiries. Okay.
Yeah, my son says that.
And I would avoid Facebook Marketplace. They have probably, and Craigslist have the most scams. But I would go to a place like cars.com, or better yet, I would maybe put it on, I don't even know. I don't know if our people will do consignment on one that old. I don't know if they will or not.
I have some consignment outfits I think I picked up on some of your previous shows.
Okay, if you go to JFR Cars and talk to Rodney.
Yeah, I think I have that on my notes.
He's the one that then I wouldn't even mess with it. Really, when you think about it, in today's world, it's damn dangerous to do this.
Well, I'm afraid if somebody wants to take it for an inspection, and I say, well, I want a credit card while you're gone.
No,
not going to be in that car.
Hold on. If they want to take it for an inspection, you have to take it there and stay with it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can't let them take it.
Same with a test drive?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Some test drives never, first of all, they're not going to get arrested. If you let someone take a test drive of your car and they don't return it, and they claim you let them have it for 30 days or whatever it is, it takes it out of a crime and turns it into a civil case. And it's kind of like having a squatter in your car.
Oh, yes. I'm reading a lot about squatters.
It's a brave new world, isn't it? You're 88. I don't know how you're adjusting to these times, but hell.
Not very well at times. Fortunately, I have a good son who lives with me, and he's my caretaker.
How old is your son?
He's 51 years old.
Okay, so
I have a question. Do you still have the title? Do you know where that is?
It's right here in my hand.
Okay. I just was checking because, Tom, if it's 1987, it might have been misplaced.
Okay, now listen, Stuart, I think I would do a consignment. I don't feel comfortable. Now, your son, if he's with it, he can try to sell it. But if you do, and this is okay, here's what you do. Here are some nevers, okay? Never take a check ever, not even a cashier's check, okay? Never. Now, if the cashier's check is drawn on a local bank, you can take it. If you can go to that guy's bank, not yours, that guy's bank, and turn it into a cashier's check to you, a bank check. So in other words,
accompany him to the bank, to his bank.
You go to his bank where the cashier's check is drawn, or you go to his bank and have them make a check to you right in front of you. Either one. and then you can take that check if it's a bank check. Do not take a certified check, and it's called a cashier's check. A cashier's check is theoretically paid for at the time it's issued, but they can be forged. So you take a cashier's check only that you see them make out to this guy right in front of you. The other one is that you can do is a wire transfer, and if you do anything like direct ACH to your account, here's another thing. You have to set up an account just for that ACH. You cannot have them ACH into your regular account, because once they have your account number and routing number, and people defy me all the time, but it's true, they can simply steal your money. There are no checks or balances. None. Zero. None. So an ACH is okay, but you set up an account just for that ACH and then close it down. So, and by the way,
very complex.
But you have to set it up somewhere where you don't have another account, because if you set it up where you have another account and you shut it down and they go in to take money out of it, they're going to go to your other account automatically under what's called a cross-collateralization agreement. I'm speaking truth to you, Stuart. It's a brave new world.
Here, buddy.
So
that was a good phrase. I was going to use that.
Anyway, we got.
You're really you are highly recommending consignment.
Apps with JFR cars, not just any consignment. More coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by MSU Denver.
Through Commerce City, I-270 westbound at Vasquez. Road work in the right shoulder continues. We're seeing stop-and-go traffic back from Northfield in Quebec, about 5 minutes of delays. Otherwise, your standard drive throughout the Denver Metro. It's clean and easy driving. I-25 north and southbound through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. South of there, 225 north and southbound, no complaints through Aurora and the Denver Tech Center. Heading to Boulder, Highway 36 east and westbound flowing free as well. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, rain and snow showers later today. Highs in the upper 40s, overnight low of 28. Things starting to warm up tomorrow, high 57 and high 68 on Wednesday. The current temperature in Denver is 48 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-House.
Calling all change makers and trailblazers. At MSU Denver, you'll discover your future. Earn your degree online or on campus. Flexibility is key. We are the change makers. MSU Denver.
Okay, K&H Home Solutions has partnered with these windows that are unfreaking believable, made right here in Colorado. In fact, they are so well insulated, you'll swear they're like having a wall almost. They have some special coatings and insulation, a reinforced insulated fiberglass frame. They're called Alpine High Performance Windows. You will love the way they do it, and you'll love the way K&H installs them. You have a winning combination, all Colorado, all American made, great prices, energy efficiency, and beauty, and great warranties. 303-421-7100. Call for your Alpine high-performance products, khwindows.com. Fix It 24/7 is my company for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. When I need something done at my house, I'll call the team at Fix It, because I know they come with in mind the repair and solution. Not looking to sell me anything. Right now, $39 for their extreme deep clean of your AC system before summer. And by the way, they can increase efficiency up to 30%. It's just $39, a screaming deal when you see the amount of work they do. And it's for new customers only. FixMyHome.com. You know what you want in auto repair? You want honesty. That's the first thing. Well, you want knowledge and experience, honesty, ethics. Well, I guess you want all of that, right? Plus value. SheridanAutotech.com. They do pre-buy inspections on used cars, which I highly recommend. Yes, they do. And, of course, they do electrical issues as well, plus heavy and light maintenance of all kinds. SheridanAutotech.com on Colfax, west of Wadsworth, 303-455-7242.
Believe it or not,
What's that, sir? Yeah.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Lost 80s, playing those songs you forgot you knew from the 80s. Duran Duran, We Louis, Tina Turner, and more, all commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Lost 80s, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
It's just like a reality TV show, to be honest with you.
We're talking about it. 630 K-How.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We're running out of time this hour. I have another hour to go. I urge you to call. And I do have some questions for Paul on some water systems, but in general, on the health we talked about, we want to touch on. Paul, there are actually people, you're saying, that track now nanoplastics in people coming from water. Is that the main place plastics are coming from?
Right, absolutely correct. And then I've read one article that was a study done in Europe where they're concerned about it being airborne.
What?
Yes, sir.
You know, it's incredible what's going on. We're going to talk about this and more coming up, plus your calls. 303-MARTINO.
We are.
That
Apparently.
is airborne.
Airborne. Well, Tom, think about it. If they're light enough to be in our rain and snow, right? There was an article done that microplastics are found all over our snow mills. Every single waterway here in Denver has, microplastics.
Jesus.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs, don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KO. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a and Israeli officials to discuss an IDF operation in Rafah. On Friday, and we wanted to move very quickly on this, and today the meeting is happening virtually. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu canceled the meeting after the U.S. abstained on a UN resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Israel's parliament voted in favor of a law that would ban Al Jazeera from broadcasting in Israel. Netanyahu's blamed it of actively participating in the October 7th massacre. President Biden visits Baltimore Friday to get a first-hand look at the round-clock operations to dismantle the collapsed Key Bridge. The small ship will open today with the goal of making it big enough to get shipping vessels into the port of Baltimore. A South Carolina judge...
He was grinding all weekend in the rain, in the cold, limping, noticeably wincing when he would hit the ball. But Tiger's a grinder. He's been grinding for years, and he's 47. To me, what I saw was just a lot of grit, a lot of toughness. Someone who's there's something. If Tiger wasn't at the Masters, it's almost like the Masters isn't right. And he was there and he made the cut. I think it's a big achievement.
And people want him to do well. Just will him to do well.
Bogus problems with the law and made-up package delivery issues. You get a text or an email about this. Don't click on anything. Check the back of your credit card. Flip it over. Call the number. And then if you are the unfortunate victim of one of these scams, you can also report it directly to reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Majority of these microplastics they're finding, Tom, are smaller than what a sesame seed is. They've been found in human blood, lungs, guts, feces, as well as placentas and breast milk. They contribute to heart disease as people with artery plaque containing microplastics are more likely to have a heart attack or stroke than those with plastic-free plaques. Can you believe we're at that stage to talk about that?
Suddenly, everything just clicks. Getting on that path may be easier than you think. A good place to start? Go to findsomethingnew.org. At findsomethingnew.org, you have access to resources that help develop new skills. Skills that will position you for careers in today's growing industries, from healthcare and manufacturing to cybersecurity and alternative energy. Plus, you can take advantage of online courses, certification programs, apprenticeships, and more. So you can take yourself from unemployed and uncertain to empowered and prepared for what's next. Find your path to a new career today. Visit findsomethingnew.org. A message from the Ad Council.
K-How News Time, 103. The ballot is about to be set for Colorado's special election. The state's Democratic Party will nominate a candidate today to replace former Congressman Ken Buck. An online convention is scheduled after a Republican committee chose Greg Lopez last week to run for the 4th Congressional District seat. The special election is June 25th, the same day as the primary. After a kayaker died in Chatfield Reservoir over the weekend, first responders are reminding people what to do to stay safe. A man in his 30s fell into the water while kayaking Saturday. A second person was able to get to shore and was taken to the hospital. Officials say the kayaker likely was not wearing a personal flotation device or PFD. This boater tells Fox 31 safety is the most important part of prepping to go out on the water.
In my case, I make sure I've got my PFD, including my noise-making device. I've always got cell phone with me that's charged up. Not that you're always in a place with cell phone coverage, but it certainly helps out.
While the air might be getting warmer, the water takes longer to do so. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by try the new limited edition orange dreamsicle frosty at Wendy's. Through Colorado City at 270 westbound at Vasquez, roadwork in the right shoulder and stop-to-go traffic back from Northfield and back to see about 5 minutes of delays. Otherwise, a beautiful drive throughout the Denver Metro as we hit the 1 o'clock hour. I-25 north and southbound from highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free from the foothills to DIA and back again. South of there through Aurora and the Tech Center. I-225 north and southbound, no complaints as well. Fox 31 at pinpoint weather. We're expecting some rain and possible snow showers throughout the rest of the day.
What?
In the upper 40s, overnight low of 28.
Stop that.
Warm up, mostly sunny skies with a high 57. Current temperature in Denver is 49 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 K-Hub.
Try the new orange dreamsicle frosty at Wendy's. It's like walking down recent memory lane. To have orange dreamsicle frosty in our timeline is truly something special, and we shouldn't let the moment pass us by. And be quick, it's only only available for a limited time.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains need plug-line service. With quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumline in my home on a mission of excellence with character and ethics. Clear drains, fix leaks, wiring, and quality Carrier systems. Plumline services from Castle Rock to Fort Collins. Service at home. Service that heart. 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com.
So this is 2024, right? So back in 2022 in April, NBC News had a story, microplastics in the human body, what we know and don't know. Telling you. Hard to believe that the quality of our water is something we can't count on, isn't it?
I know it.
Treatment I received. AdvancedHair.com.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Hey, it's Dan. Join me today at 4. We'll dive into the latest craziness from D.C. and from the loony left right here in Colorado, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Join me at 4.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, where we are solving your problems, answering your questions, taking your complaints, making your life a little easier. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about microplastics or nanoplastics. I guess nano is the smallest of particles. See, I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but plastics are one of the biggest problems we have right now in the environment because they don't go away. Now, they break down. There are new plastics, of course, that break down, but I'm talking about normal, let's say normal plastics. Normal plastics from petroleum-based products, bottles, containers, they only disintegrate to a certain extent and then become nanoparticles. These nanoparticles leach their ways into your water, into the environment, into our systems. And they actually have been measured. Paul the Waterman at waterpros.net has really become interested in this. Of course, he alerted me years ago to forever chemicals, which are PFAs. And PFAs have poisonous properties, of course, and so do other contaminants in water. You can filter those. And right now, you can filter nanoplastics to some degree. But it's in everything, in meat, in food, restaurants. So, Paul, are you just saying just give up? I mean, when you talk about nanoplastics, even possibly being airborne, talk about some of the research you've been reading about, because this is chilling.
It's pretty scary. And so I'm learning that, for example, you can either Google this or go on Bing, type in microplastics in our body. You'll see the stories that I'm talking about.
Now, is it micro or nano? What's the proper term?
Well, it's microplastics. And then now they're talking about nanoplastics thanks to bottled water contamination and the nanoplastics found in the 3 major brands of bottled water. And so what's happening is that, you know, it's becoming apparent that these contaminants are, you know, penetrating the human body. They're talking, I've read stories where this could contribute to heart disease.
So are we talking about the chemical part of the plastic or the mechanical
plastic itself? The plastic,
just as a mechanical thing.
Right, it's a physical thing.
Right,
and it gets smaller than a sesame seed, and these plastics, you know, are building up on our body. 9 News last week, I think you go on their website, and I sent you the video. 9 News did a story with a local cardiologist talking about it. And it's something I think that we need to investigate more. This is more important, in my opinion, than any, global warming issue, because water is life. And, you know, the theory is that these plastics can get into our vegetables that, you know, the gardens we're going to be growing this year based upon the contamination in our water.
Now, microplastics have been detected in tap water, bottled water, seafood, and salt. So as you absorb these things, here's the thing. Unless they attach to something else, they literally become part of your system. Also, they do say that particles are present in the air, especially in urban environments. They can be inhaled. Comes from textiles, tire dust, city dust are a significant part of these. Also, skin contact, though less common, it can penetrate the skin in certain cosmetic products. So on the outside of the body, microplastics can accumulate because they are not biodegradable.
That's it.
Now, by the way, this is research from the internet I'm doing on several sites, health sites and all of that. And then it says here, once inside the body, they accumulate. The health effects of long-term accumulation are now under investigation, but there's concern that, first of all, they can cause inflammation, an immune response. And now what that means is your body is sensing something inside it, and it's sensing it's a foreign object. Therefore, it sends healing agents to deal with it, which causes inflammation. Inflammation is a body's natural response to healing, but then it's supposed to go away once you're healed. The problem is it continues to be inflamed because it continually senses this doom. Now, so really when you think about it and the ubiquity of plastics in the environment, it's probably one of the most significant health challenges we have today.
I totally agree. It's all over. It's every aspect. I even did a study or read a study that they found these microplastics in beer.
Well, no doubt. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, if you think about how much it's in.
Absolutely. So this is something that I think we really need to, you know, I'm all for it. When when they started banning plastic bags before the story broke with grocery stores, I thought this was silly. But now I think plastics, we just need to get rid of it. We truly do.
Yeah, but do you really, what you mean? Okay, even if we could magically get rid of every type of plastic today being made, how much is still in the environment that will remain? All of it.
All of it, because, and not only that, but look at, there's countries right now that use the ocean as a landfill, so they're continually to dump this stuff, and then it's contaminating our oceans, and then when plastics break apart, they don't dissolve and go away. That's the problem.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, it's not just in water that we're concerned about, it's in everything. And they attribute it to bottled water and other plastics. I mean, but there are plastics in literally everything. So, now that we've talked about that, at least what you can do is try to at least not ingest anymore, or ingest as little as possible. So how do you do that?
I think what we need to do is go back to, glass bottles. Glass bottles seem to be easier to recycle. We went to, back in the day in the 40s, there were cardboard straws that seemed to work really well. So we need to really think this through and go back to when you were a kid and I was a kid, they had cardboard containers and everything. You had metal containers. Metal will break down and rust and deteriorate before plastic will. So, back in the day, everything, your flour, your sugar, your crackers came in a metal container, and then everything else was delivered in glass.
Wow. I'm researching, are there ways to flush microplastics from your body? I wonder if there, I'm sure there's a lot of
there's a theory, I forget the name of it, but it's like a cloth that you run your blood through like a filter, And the theory is that cloth will accumulate and capture the plastic, but it's a slow process.
It says, there have not been any, so according to the FDA, there isn't anything right now.
No, not right now, but they're in Europe. They're trying.
They say one of the biggest things is water filtration, because they say water filtration is the number one way it gets into your body. Number two are food choices. So food choices, seafood, unfortunate. I mean, how do you test? There's no test for microplastics.
No, there's no test. It's what they're testing. What they're finding is that, and this news article was in The Guardian, is that every single placenta they tested was contaminated with plastics, and then they went to arteries, and these were done with cadavers with people that donated their body to science.
Wow, this is frightening. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Do you have a problem, question, or complaint? Give us a call. There's a lot going on. And I also want to ask you if you found out about that AT&T data breach, a giant data breach. So everyone, I think, this should not be optional. I believe everyone should have a credit freeze. It's not just if you suspect something. You should have a credit freeze, meaning you have to have a PIN. You go online and enter your PIN to unlock it and then lock it. Unlock it and lock it. So when you go to apply for something, you unlock it. Then when you're done, you lock it. So no one can get credit history on you. And that'll shut down 98% of all new accounts because you are locking it. And that is one of the safest things you can do. But this data breach was announced Saturday. They said millions of consumers' data, past and present, not just current ones. They say the passcodes and everything. They're talking about even a former account holder. I'm a former account holder. 65 million former account holders were hacked as well. So you need to make sure. Now you might say, so what's the big deal? Well, the big deal, it's not a big deal as far as AT&T goes. They can easily shut that down knowing there was a breach and examine those accounts. But if they get your information, many times when we apply for AT&T or any kind of business, a phone bill, an account, we're putting in our name, our address, our social, all of our information. And that's enough for people to establish fake identities. And that's where the danger is. They're not necessarily, who cares if they hack into your AT&T right now. What really matters is what they do with the other information. So we're going to talk about that and more. Give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Federal authorities are spying on conservatives. They were just exposed for pressuring banks to look for transactions with keywords like MAGA, Trump, and Bible. This is not the America I know. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I am deeply concerned about the tyranny I see in Washington. And this is why I'm thankful for physical gold IRAs, because they offer tangible financial security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. To find out more, text the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This is your chance to secure your IRA or 401k against the unpredictable nature of our economy. Text HEDGE to the number 989898 now to request your free info kit on gold IRAs. That's HEDGE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
The RV Authority, that's lazydays.com, Lazy Days. That's easy to remember, huh? Don't you love the idea of an RV? I call it real vacation. Recreational vehicles can get you where you're going. Hey, you want to go to the Eclipse? Get an RV. Here's the deal, okay? The RV Authority has the best selection at the best prices and the best trade-ins. No fooling. You need to check them out. LazyDays.com, along with their new maintenance facility at I-25 and exit 240. That's Lazy Days of Denver at Longmont. That's lazydays.com. Floor coverings are ubiquitous in a home. You don't walk into a home without noticing floor coverings. It's the very first thing you touch. Well, the doorknob maybe. Then you have the floor coverings of all kinds. Luxury vinyl planking is pretty popular, but it doesn't belong in all places. Carpeting, yeah, there's new kinds of fibers you will love, waterproof. And then they have, of course, engineered floors and hardwoods, whatever you want. Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. simplyfloorsinc.com.
Open and wanted to give you a call regarding the issue you're having with your employment. If you'd like to give us a call back, we're at 303 Martino, which is 303-627-8466. Again, 303-627-8466. Thanks so much.
It's depressing. If you're looking for an investment you don't have to check 10 times a day, Noble Gold Investments is your answer. Precious metals are simple, and Noble Gold Investments understands them. You'll get a dedicated American expert who will run you through your options and be your personal contact whenever you get in touch. No call centers, no hassle, just simple, straightforward, and real. This month, Noble Gold Investments is giving a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin with every qualifying IRA investment. Just use the promo code GOLD. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com now. noblegoldinvestments.com. And if that's not a reason to put your money somewhere else, we don't know what is. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? Call 866-901-SAFE. That's 866-901-2255 for your complimentary retirement and income book. And join Al Martinez for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. or 3 p.m.
Inspirations for action, and action gets it done. Nancy Kinney, Denver kitchens, baths, finished basements, windows and doors. Our snow is filling fast, so take action and reserve your spot. 800-362-8370 or DRHI.com.
When it comes to your money and your mortgage, you just want the facts. So here are the facts about the Life Changer loan. Our clients pay principal first, not interest. They retain 24/7 access to their equity. They pay off their mortgage in well under 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. And they typically save 6 figures in interest compared to a traditional loan. It's not magic, it's just math. So get the facts at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com. Life Changer Loan Corp is a licensed Colorado mortgage company. NMLS 963775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Open on light rain and snow showers throughout your Monday today. It's going to be a little breezy with temperatures only in the upper 40s. Roll back to sunshine in your 60s tomorrow. I'm Fox 31, 2.1 team meteorologist Kylie Brooks.
Summit Racing is the parts you need to keep your truck rolling right. From custom grills to tonneau covers and everything in between. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends April 14th, 2024.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, return policies have changed, by the way, for a lot of companies. They used to be so liberal with their policies, but they're tightening up a bit. Amazon, by the way, has instituted new ones. Some returns have restocking fees now. Now that's not such a big deal. I love Amazon. I really do. I mean, I have to admit it. I almost hate that I love them. But they have everything. They have overnight. I mean, I almost never wait for anything. So I don't care about a small restocking charge. Some locations have dollar drop-offs. So you may have to pay a dollar drop-off instead of restocking fee, so for each item. Then also Best Buy, they have reduced their returns. First of all, there are some restocking fees. Then Costco has a 90-day return policy for TVs, computers, cameras, smartwatches, MP3 players. In other words, technology, monitors, appliances. That's Costco now has 90 days. It used to be unlimited. Home Depot, 90 days. On other things, 2 to 30 days. So some things have only 48 hours, depending on what you buy. Kohl's, listen to this. On premium electronics, 180-day deadline for most. A 90-day at Macy's. Macy's is kind of going away. Who cares about Marshall's? And then that's about it. 90 days for Target, 90 days for Walmart. But major appliances, only 2 days. Listen to that. 30 days for most electronics, 14 days for cell phones, and then 90 days for everything else. So here's the point. Be careful and be aware of return policies so you know them before you buy. Berlin, what's going on with you? Hi, I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Berlin? Berlin?
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Yes, sir. So I was actually employed with Denver Parks and Recreation as a youth sports coach, and I have been in that position for 4 years. Just recently, I had an altercation. Well, I didn't even have an altercation. It was just the issue that had occurred at the gym during one of our playoff games.
What happened?
My team is a minority team, and the other team that we were playing, they were all white. And the game had kind of got a little hectic. I see. The game had got a little heated while they were playing. We had got a text, and the other team started winning. Well, that team started talking stuff to our girls and calling them monkeys, beaners, black monkeys.
Now, wait a minute. Berlin, was the other team all white and your team all black?
Our team was black and Mexican.
And they were all
Our
these
whole
are,
team, we didn't
are
have
these
not one
girls
white girl on
are
our
these
team.
girls teams?
Yes, sir, they are. They're 9 and 10.
Okay. Now, you're not exaggerating, right? Were they really calling them names like that?
Yes, and it was so they got separate stands. So one, their parents on one stand, our parents on the other. Our parents were sitting there witnessing. It was so crazy. So our parents were witnessing everything that was going on the bench.
When was this game? Just roughly.
This game was about 3 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, because I actually just got the call.
Got it.
So
this game got heated. The game got heated and against an all-white team.
Correct.
And they started calling racial names at the girls, disgusting names.
Correct. Yep.
Now, is your youth basketball team just happen to be black and Hispanic, but they don't they don't. In other words, white girls could play there if they wanted, right?
Correct. Yes. Correct.
It just happens to be mostly black and Hispanic girls.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So then, when this game got heated and those names started, what happened then?
So actually, nothing was addressed during the game, even with the parents being loud and irate. Nothing was addressed with that team at all. So once the team ended, the game ended. We lost. The other team won. We went to go shake hands with the other team, line up, everybody passed each other, shake hands. The girls didn't want to shake their hands. Like, they just kind of put their hand out, like, whatever. So, our team, I still told the girls, I carry yourself accordingly. Don't worry about it. The game is over with. Let's go. So we went to go leave, walk out to go up to the lobby. While we were walking through the lobby, the same little girls that were calling names were calling the girls trash and beaners again. And this was actually in the lobby in front of the lobby worker and one of the directors, who was in the gym when all of this was going down. Never said anything. Never said anything to the
So
parents.
did a
But then,
fight break out or anything?
No fight, not yet. So, in the hallway, everybody just started exchanging words. They were, why are your kids calling names? Da, 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 da. Well, I walked outside where the rest of the girls were, my team, and then a couple of the other moms. And the mom of one of the daughters who was calling the girls black monkeys and beaners happened to be out there. So I went outside and I said, hey, I'm one of the coaches. I was like, can, I speak with you for a second? And I pulled her to the side and I was just like, hey, I'm not too sure what's going on. And she was like, you know what? She's like, your girls called my daughter a B, and that's why it went the way that it did. And I was like, okay, well, let's just apologize. Let's have the girls, both teams, apologize. And then, we can just move accordingly. Well, she didn't want that. She said no.
Now, this woman you were talking to, was it just one of the parents or was it a coach?
So, no, it was a parent. It was the parent to one of the little girls
got
who
it.
was like the
So
main
keep
one
going. Then what happened?
calling the girl's name.
So you said, hey, why don't we just try to
we-
end this? Let's try to apologize. And she said no?
Yes, that's exactly. She said no. So her daughter, the one that was initially calling them names, stuck her tongue out and started like hi, because her mom said she wasn't going to apologize. She wasn't going to make her apologize. So, I said, well, this is what's going on in the world. I said, this is taught at home. You're not telling your daughter the correct thing to do what's right. I said, you're allowing her to sit here and call these girls names. And the
Now,
girls,
meanwhile, were there
still
other
there. They
adults
were
around?
Oh, yeah. There was our team with all of their parents, and then their team with all of their parents.
So
Everybody
it was a
outside now at this
mess.
point when
It
all of
was
this
lucky,
going on.
but nobody got handy, right?
No, not yet. So
keep going.
We start walking down. We're walking down, me and the mom of the little girl that was calling her name. Don't do that. Just look, okay? We're walking down the sidewalk, and the mom's talking stuff, and so I'm talking stuff, and I'm telling them, like, this is BS. You're letting your daughter call people's names. Braylon, come on. Let the girls, call them names and stuff, and you're not going to address her or anything. And then I told her she was racist, and she turned around because she was walking in front of me. So she turned around. I know, Braylon. She turned around, and she came back to me, and she put her finger in my face, and she's like, you know what? She was like, you effing B, if you guys didn't act like effing monkeys, we wouldn't have to address that.
Wow. Holy crap.
Back to me, she put her hand in my face. So I smacked her hand out of my face because I didn't know what she was going to do. I didn't know she was going to hit me. I didn't know. I didn't know what she was doing. So I gently removed her hand from my face, and I told her that she had lost her effing mind. And so at this point, she hops on the phone, and she's like, I'm calling the police. I feel threatened. I feel harmed. She's like, you're gonna beat me up. It was just, she just started making all kinds of stuff.
Berlin,
I was already in my car.
Berlin, when she put her finger in your face, did she touch you?
No, she did. Well, no, she was just like right in front of my nose.
I know what
but
you
she was
mean.
very
I know it.
close to
And
me.
then you just like slapped her hand out of the way.
Yes. I
Okay.
just slapped her hand out the way. And, I told her, I said, you done took this too far. I was trying to.
So then did she call the
Take a break
police?
here soon, buddy.
Yes.
All right,
did call
hold
the
on,
police. She
Brolin.
got
I want to
behind my
hear.
car.
I got to hear where this ended. This sounds terrible. And of course, we're only getting your side. But even hearing your side, even if you were yelling back, okay, what's the big deal? Everyone was yelling. We'll talk about this and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Download the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Through Commerce City, I-270 westbound at Vasquez. Roadwork in the right shoulder has stop-and-go traffic back from Northfield in Quebec. We're seeing about 5 minutes of delays. Otherwise, a beautiful drive throughout the Denver Metro as we hit the 1 o'clock hour. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound flowing free from the foothills to DIA and back again. South of there through Aurora and the Tech Center, I-225 north and southbound, no complaints as well. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. We're expecting some rain and possible snow showers throughout the rest of the day. Highs in the upper 40s, overnight low of 28. Tomorrow, things starting to warm up, mostly sunny skies with a high 57. The current temperature in Denver is 49 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Summit Racing has the parts you need to keep your truck rolling right. From custom grills to tonneau covers and everything in between. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends April 14th, 2024.
The only carpet cleaners I'll let in my home, ZeroResDenver.com, and there's a reason for that. ZeroRes doesn't use any kind of dirty, rotten chemicals, emulsifiers, nothing but pure, alkaline-based, super softened water, one of the best cleaning agents in nature. Yes, and then they do that with a combination of a patented scrubbing technique, and they leave your carpets not only looking clean, but feeling clean. Less water's used. They dry faster, stay clean longer because there's no dirt-attracting residue. Safe for kids and pets and you. Right now, $33 a room or whatever specials they have, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the best you can do for your carpets for the price. That's just the way it is. Also, carpet cleaning, tile and grout, granite, mattress, upholstery, area rugs, 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com. Now, ZeroRes Denver, ZeroRes, spelled the same forward and backward, and it's always the best. Now, the Art of Granite will do granite countertops or quartz countertops or marble, whatever material, man-made stuff, they'll do it, and they'll give you a price right now on the phone. All you have to do is give them a call. Plus, you get to choose a free backsplash or edge treatment or maybe a free sink. Or you might want cabinets and a 25% discount on counters or a 15% across the board. You get to choose your incentives. Call for more information and get your price. 303-386-5919. 386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
Words you never want to hear from your doctor? You may need surgery for that. Hey, it's Ross, and I am such a happy patient at Regen Revolution because my shoulder doctor said I probably needed surgery and a difficult recovery. Instead, I went to Regen Revolution. With their treatment plan, I'm out of pain, lifting weights again, and no surgery in sight. If you have painful joints or loss of mobility and want to feel better and avoid surgery, get started today at Regen Rev. That's REGENREV.
All right, you know you're old when you go to Top Golf with your kids on Friday. I can't move my arms.
Nice.
I'm like, seriously, I don't know what the hell I did, but both of my forearms are so goddamn sore right now.
That's how you know you had a good time.
It's really not fair. And by the way, note to self, do not take collegiate golfer daughter to Top Golf.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Unless you want to get your goddamn ass kicked.
Yeah.
Which we did.
Mandy Call here with the Legal Minute from my friends at Bell & Pollock. Listen for more great advice on the Bell & Pollock Injury Show, Saturdays at 10 on KOA.
Hi, I'm Gary Bell of the law firm of Bell and Pollock. We are injury attorneys, and this is your legal minute. You're in an accident. You get out to exchange information like you're supposed to do. The other driver says, I don't even have a driver's license. I'm sorry. I don't have any insurance. I'm sorry. What are you going to do? Is there anything that you can do? Yes. You can call Bell and Pollock at 303-795-5900. But know this, right now, if the driver gets out and they do not have a driver's license, that does not mean automatically that it's an uninsured event. Insurance coverage could very well apply to pay your lost wages, to pay your medical bills, to pay for your injuries. We can help you. Gary Bell, Brad Pollock, Bell and Pollock, championsofthepeople.com. Give us a call. We'll help you.
Get more information or help from Bell & Pollock at championsofthepeople.com.
cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing 303-761-6400.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So then Berlin says she coaches she coached a youth basketball team, girls, Hispanic and black. During a game with an all-white team, it got heated. They were calling them disgusting names. Then, afterwards, it got heated with parents and kids all yelling at each other. She starts walking away. Another woman put a finger in her face. She knocked a finger out of her face. Keep going. What happened then?
And she actually gets behind my car and she tells me she's gonna call the police and then I better not leave. I left anyways. I left and she did call the police. They went up to the rec center in which they took her statement and they what did they do? They dealt with my employer, which I had a game that next day. That was on a Friday night. I had a game that Saturday morning.
Who reported to your employer?
I didn't know
Did that woman call your employer?
The lady. Yes,
were
she
you
was actually at the
charged?
premise.
Were
She
you
never even
charged
left.
with anything?
No. At the moment, no. I'm still dealing with the police and dealing with the people from the. Well, actually, I'm not even dealing with them no more because they called me the day that I sent you a message and told me that they terminated me.
Wait.
I don't know.
So they reported you, the woman reported you, and you were fired.
Yes, I was. I actually reported back that Saturday morning because I had my boys playoff game. Mind you, I coached 4 teams for the Denver Post.
Okay, they didn't even bother asking you your side of the story?
No, nothing. They didn't ask me anything. So the next day when I went back, they told me that I was not allowed on the premise, that I was deemed unsafe around the youth and parents, and that I needed to get off of the property, or that they were going to call the police.
Were there any parents on your side that stuck up for you?
Oh, yeah. Actually, all of the parents that were on my team, were there and seen it, and they all said it was just terrible how they handled everything. They went and wrote statements. A couple of parents. I have a couple of parent statements as well. One of the moms actually called me the day I got terminated, and she told me she was still waiting to hear back from the director, and they've never called her back either.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Did they do an investigation?
So,
how do you know
when
your
I went in there
employer?
that next day,
Maybe your employer
when I went in there that next day, no, they didn't do anything. They didn't interview none of my parents. They didn't ask none of my parents for their statements. Nothing.
You think they
from
went
my
on that
parents at
one
all.
woman's word only?
So, yes, sir, I believe so. When I went in there that day, I had asked him, I said, what's going on? I actually was talking to the director, and he said, you're here soon. He was like, I didn't think that I was going to see you until after my investigation, which was in 7 days. And I said, in 7 days? I said, so you were going to call me in 7 days after your investigation to find out what happened?
Well, okay, so bottom line, did they investigate?
From what they said, yes. And
Is this the first event?
On the video, and they said that I would be aggressive.
Is this the first time anything like this ever happened?
Ever. In my 4 years of coaching, I mean, I've had little incidents, with parents. And I've
Have
brought it
you
up,
ever had
but never to
any
this
issues
extreme.
with police ever?
No, I have not. Ever.
Will they even consider giving your job back?
No, because he said that I am deemed unsafe to youth and parents, and so for what do you say, incident or something that I can't coach there ever again.
God.
And he said that what I have went in there and came and told on it first, like I was the one that was scared and terrified, then the tables would have been turned. But because she went in and played victim, she pretty much just got her way.
Yeah, but I just don't understand how that can happen where one person can make that difference without any evidence. There must have been cooperating. You know what? I actually do want to find out if anybody else, like, was there just one person that accused you? This is going to be difficult, Berlin, because they're simply going to say you were out of hand, and all they have to say is, yes, we talked to parents, and they don't have to keep you on. Were there other coaches there, or are you the only coach? No assistant coaches or anything?
No. Yep, there were 3 of them. They actually got statements from my coach. It was all of us. My coaches, every coach was there. My coaches, their coaches,
Okay,
all
so
of
what
our
did your coach yell back at them like you did?
Oh, yeah. All 3 of us were. The other one, my other
Why did
assistant,
they
'cause I'm the head
single
coach,
you
I have
out?
2
Are you the
assistants.
only one that was fired?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the other coaches can still coach. I'm actually supposed to have a season coming up right now for soccer, and they
Do you
said that's
have
my
the
coach.
name? Do you have a name and number of a coach that we can check with?
As far as like on my team?
People that you
Wait,
know.
my coach?
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, most definitely.
Hey,
I can give you
Deputy
a
Doc,
couple numbers.
why don't we call this not the league, but just one of the coaches and say, look, off the record, we just want to know, does this have any legs, or was it all, it just sounds too weird that on one person complaining, and but they said they investigated. So give us the name of a coach that was there. We'd like to check with someone who was there to get their impression of what happened. I think that would be the next thing to do. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, will do a market analysis of your home. All you have to do is ask for it. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You want to know what your house will sell for? He'll use his 30 years experience to examine all of the elements and how they affect your house and what your house compares to others on the market. 303-920-1622. And One Clear Choice Garage Doors will come and do your garage door 24/7. All of their prices are on the website, oneclearchoicedoors.com. Everything you need for a garage door or an opener, they have. Best price. I mean, for the value you get, there's nothing to compare. That's why they put it on their website, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Classic Hamburgers.
Rain has officially hit the metro area. We're seeing slick road conditions through downtown. I-25 northbound showing slower speeds between Alameda and Colfax. Southbound I-25, it's a slow drive on wet road conditions between 48th and Colfax. Northeast of there, I-270 westbound at Vasquez, right shoulder closed due to road work. We're seeing stop and go back from Northfield and Quebec, about 5 minutes of delays. I-70 eastbound remains an easy drive to the DIA area. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, rain and possible snow showers today. Highs in the upper 40s, overnight low of 28. Tomorrow warming up, mostly sunny with a high of 57 degrees. The current temperature in Denver is 49. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Now at Wendy's, get a Dave's single for $1 or a Dave's double for just $2 with the in-app offer. Limited time offer, participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details.
If you experience a fire, a flood, or any mishaps at all from the weather, your house is, let's say you discover asbestos or black mold and your house is contaminated, think American Restoration 24/7. Here's why. When your property is contaminated or you have a catastrophe, your insurance company will only pay once. You need to get the right company because there are a lot of jerks in this business. Get American Restoration 24/7 with the EPA certifications, knowledge, know-how to get the job done right so your home is put back to normal, and they can even help you rebuild to whatever extent you want. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. And that's amrest247.com. When you are accused of a crime, any crime, your life turns upside down. Because first of all, everyone's going to assume you're guilty. Just be used to it, okay? Now, maybe you are. Maybe you're stupid. Maybe there's extenuating circumstances. But here's the message. Don't shop for an attorney when you need him like that, because you could end up making a very bad decision. You need to have someone just in case, for friends, neighbors, family, whatever. Joe Lazzara. I just want you to remember the name. I hope you never need him. Joseph A. Lazzara. For DUIs and other problems, 303-429-6200, free consultations, and then flat rate pricing. So you're not nickel and dime. 303-429-6200. John Fuller is another attorney I hope you never need. I always say that because he's a personal injury attorney. Who wants to be hurt? But I'll tell you what, if you are hurt, you don't want to call a call center, for God's sakes. And they brag about that on TV, some of these firms. You don't want to call a call center. You don't want to have an intake committee. You want to call the attorney that's going to take your case, and that's John Fuller. He'll talk to you free of charge about your case. If you think it's a good fit, he'll work on a percentage fee basis, and he will handle your case personally. You even get a cell phone. He promises that you can call or text at any time. 303-597-4500. Notice the difference. myaccidentlawyer.co.
In depth with you, so I'm going to text him all of this pertinent information that you just gave me, and he will be calling you this afternoon, okay?
The 9 News article?
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Bye.
We can probably find the original story.
Wait, pay it. I am tired. Oh my God.
So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states. Heard the catchphrase is sweeping the nation? Jackson, hell yeah! People are saying Jackson Hugh yeah to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal or a better catchphrase. All together now. Jackson Hugh yeah! Prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations. April 7. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
Tune into Peace to You from Peace Lutheran Church in Nevada. Peace to You brings you encouragement and a fresh, uplifting start to your week. Peace to You comes every Sunday, right here on 630 KHOW at 7:30 a.m.
I'm Saleha Mosin, and I've covered economic policy for years and reported on how it impacts people across the United States. In 2016, I saw how voters were leaning towards Trump and how so many Americans felt misunderstood by Washington. So I started the Big Take DC. We dig into how money, politics, and power shape government and the consequences for voters. Listen to Big Take DC on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Big Take DC.
Mornings at 6. The Situation with Michael Brown.
Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are going all AI first, according to their chief technology officer. The computer's going to make my taco. Join me on Tuesday at 6:05.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Don't forget Paul the Waterman. It's waterpros.net, 303-862-5554 when he's not here. We've had a lot of information today. He's a wealth of information. 303-862-5554, waterpros.net. Hey, Sammy, what's your question on taxes? Sammy?
Hi, Tom. Delinquent tax notice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You got a delinquent tax notice.
Yes, from 2018.
Okay.
and it was a small commercial property that I owned, and they said the renter was with me for ever long time, and
what
they
kind
said
of
I
tax?
would,
For property
got a
tax?
lot of money. Property, yes.
Okay.
And I haven't. I've been out since 1985. I have no property in there at all, ever. Never had anything done with the business.
Well, wait a minute.
And
Why are you
it's
getting
not
a
big
property
deal.
notice from 2018 if you didn't own it since 2005?
Well, I don't know.
So
I went
they've
up there and
never
talked to them
changed
today.
it on
He
the
said,
tax
"No."
roll. What did you own in that area?
Well, it was just a small car lot, and I rented it out in 20. I probably rented it out in 25 years ago. It's been rented out for 25
Yeah,
years.
but do you still own it, the property?
I own the property, yes. I got two different answers. One guy told me that I was still responsible for the property tax or the personal property tax if I owned the property, even if the guy that I rented it to moved to New Mexico, retired 8 years ago.
Well, hold on a second. Did this, when you say personal property tax, elaborate for me a little on that. What do you mean? What do you mean personal property tax?
Well, your computer, your water fountain.
Okay,
your
hold on.
chairs, your
Did
desk.
you own that stuff or did he own it?
He owned it. I didn't own it. I've been collecting rent for 20 plus years.
I understand that. You were collecting rent. He had a business. Do you know if he filed personal property tax on the business in previous years?
Well, he must have, because I got this. This is the first one I've ever got. I've
Okay,
owned the property since
Sammy, when did
1970.
he leave?
Yeah. He left early 2018.
Okay,
Like March.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get an expert on for you tomorrow to answer this. Hold on. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. And, of course, 303-MARTINO for help. See you guys.
Everybody.
Okay. Thank you, man. Oh. No, sir. Oh, no shit. Oh, what, are you kidding me? Of course it does. Of course it does. I heard it, that was. I can't believe it.